Thanks for joining us, everybody. I am Brandon, and this
is Peter.
I got a little bit of your line there, but hey. And welcome to the GameSpill podcast. We actually had a podcast that I ruined the other day. We were talking about, what were we talking about? Fable. We were talking about Fable, and I ruined it because I didn't export my audio. So
well done.
Yep, nailed it. You know me, I'm a podcaster.
That's you.
So yeah, we will eventually talk about Fable again, I'm sure. But alas, you're not gonna get any Fable talk this week. We're doing Game of the Decade, Peter.
Oh yeah.
We're talking about the games of the decade, the most influential, the best, the worst, everything in between. We're gonna rate them on this tier list because that's what all the kids are doing nowadays.
These tier lists are cool, man.
They're cool right now. All the kids are ranking things and deciding what is and is not good in a list format. And you know, we're gonna hop on that bandwagon real hard.
Yep.
And do our own little list game here. And I tried to make it as entertaining as possible for you and me here, Peter. I got a bunch of pictures for us. Hopefully some goodies, some baddies, and maybe even some ones that you'll go, oh my god, I forgot that was a thing that came out this year.
That game.
I forgot that was a thing. So don't look at my list. Don't ruin it for yourself. I saw you peeking. And,
I was peeking.
Fuck off, okay?
No.
I made this game. And I don't appreciate you cheating, okay? So, I figure we should just jump right into it, as Philip DeFranco says, with our very first game. Because we have a lot to go through here. I think there's like 100 games on this list. So
it's going to take a while.
It's going to take us a little while, but we're on a podcast, and podcasts are all about taking as long as we want to do whatever we want, right?
That's what it's all about.
That's what it's all about. You're here to listen to my silky smooth voice. Wash you to sleep and drive you to work. Without further ado, welcome to GameSpills, games of the decade, games in the past decade. What's a good name for this? The last 10 years in stuff.
Game of the decade is there's no better way to put it.
All right, game of the decade. That's kind of boring, but sure, whatever. Anyway, first on the list, the Nintendo Wii Classic, Super Mario Galaxy.
This is a great game. This game slaps.
This game slaps hard. I didn't get Super Mario Galaxy 2 because I figure those games are fairly similar for the most part. So
I always hear really good things about it, but I also did not play the second one.
I never played the second one either, so I guess that works out in our favor. What do you rank Super Mario Galaxies?
I would give it a solid A.
An A?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
okay.
It's a Nintendo classic. Also, you're going to make them
right.
way smaller than that if we want to fit 100 of them on this page here.
I definitely will be making them a lot smaller. I just figure for just so you can see, you know, so we're not, you know, I don't want like little teeny dinky.
Yeah, they're going to have to get real small. That looks good to me.
Yeah, I think I might give you a pass on the A. I don't know if I'm trying to like put our very first selection in A, but you know, I should probably just judge the game.
It's just such a good game. We should have started with a shittier game.
You're right. Good point. Good point. This is a pretty solid game. I definitely think you're right in saying that it's probably A tier. I don't know if I'd give it S tier because I definitely like other Mario games better, but pretty solid Mario game.
Yeah, like Mario 64 would be an S tier for me, and that might mostly be nostalgia. But
true,
it's got to be really good if I'm going to give it an S.
Yeah, we definitely got to be a little bit sparing with our S tiers, but I think starting off with Mario Galaxy in A tier is a pretty solid place. I definitely don't know if I would feel bad putting in B. I mean, it's a Mario game.
It doesn't belong down there with all the other Bs, you know?
I don't think so. I think it's a little bit better than a B. So, yeah, A. Well, we can agree on the first one. I was hoping this would be a little more, you know, more of a fight.
Okay, well, let's pick a game we can fight about.
Oh, yeah, here's one. This is a real hard one.
Well, no, we're not going to be able to fight about this one.
This is just next in line, you know?
Breath of the Wild, though, is a game that everybody loves. Nobody hates this game.
True. And I was thinking about giving it S tier for the reason of everyone loving it, but should we dock it? Is it overrated at this point, you think?
I don't think so. The reason everybody loves it is just because it's so damn spectacular, you know? I think it belongs in S tier, but I'm a big Nintendo fanboy, so, you know.
I would agree with you. I think this game belongs in S tier, and it might be slightly overrated, but it's probably the best game made in the decade, I would say.
It's really, really good. Yeah. It really brought the Zelda series back with a vengeance.
Yeah, I definitely think it's probably one of the best games, or probably one of the best games ever created, in my opinion. Yeah. And especially in the last decade, I definitely think it deserves a place in S tier, in my opinion. So I think we could both agree with that. That wasn't a very hard decision on that one.
Yeah.
Some of these beginning ones aren't very divisive here. Here we go. This is good. Okay. The Order 1886. Remember this one?
I had forgot about this one.
Yeah, it was a really big deal before it came out. I know a lot of people were really excited for it. A lot of people were really hyped. I think it was...
Was it a release title?
No, it wasn't a release title.
It was pretty early PlayStation 4, though.
Oops. This game came out in February 20th, 2015. The PlayStation 4 came out at the end of 2013.
Okay,
November
it was a couple years after.
Yeah, but I remember it was a pretty big deal. Everyone was very excited that this was going to be the next big thing. Yeah. And then it flopped very hard.
Really fast. Because it was, everybody was like, you could beat this game in like 8 hours. You're like,
right? What? This game was made by Ready at Dawn. At the time, they were really up-and-coming game developers. That's why everyone thought they were going to knock it out of the park.
What else did they make? Did they make God of War?
It looks like they made Ghosts of Sparta. It's like a spin-off of God of War
game.
No, they also made the 2006 PSP game Daxter.
Ooh, good for them.
Yeah, I don't know about. Apparently, people like that game actually. So
yeah.
I guess there's that.
Yeah, so they did a couple of the weird non-mainline God of War games. That's about the only thing that really stands out to me.
It seems like, yeah, and then obviously Santa Monica Studio helped them a little bit with it, and they are an amazing studio.
Do they still make games? What happened to them?
Yeah, they made the newest God of War.
The newest one. Oh, okay.
Yeah, Cory Barlog, your boy, works at Santa Monica Studios.
That's good.
Yeah, definitely. So, yeah, it had a lot of really talented people behind it, but it flopped very, very hard. Surprisingly, on Google, it says 88% of people like it.
63% Metacritic, though.
Yeah, not good. 2.8 at GameStop, actually.
Yeah. So there are a fair few people that like this game, whether it's super long or not. It's probably still pretty fun.
I'm sure it's... I mean, I've only ever played a small... Here, 1 second. Whoops. Sorry there. Moving on.
If this game were that good, it would have done a lot better. So I'm gonna give it a D.
Yeah, I agree with you. I played a little bit of this game. I didn't ever really get that hard into it. I might even give it an E just because of how hard it flopped in audience wise. People just no one gravitated toward it.
People did really dislike it when it came out. It was
pretty critically panned for being bad.
Think about how bad a game's got to be before we give it an E, though. You know, that's the worst of the worst. That's the scum.
Should I be thrown? Yeah, true. I wouldn't say it's like a scummy game or anything.
I would give it at
just
least
wasn't
a D.
very
You
good.
know, an E seems a bit harsh.
Okay, fine. We can go with D on that. I think that's fine. I think I agree with that. The Order 1886 belongs in the D category.
Sorry, guys.
It is a pretty looking game. I'll give them that. All right, next up. Red Dead Redemption 2. I had Red Dead Redemption 1 in here as well, but I sort of figured I'd make these a package deal because they're both fairly similar video games. Red Dead 2 is really just the evolution of what Red Dead 1 is.
It's pretty much just the newer, better version of Red Dead 1, you know?
Exactly. And I would say this is a pretty solid game. I liked it a lot. There were some people who did not like the simulation-y aspects of it. But I liked it quite a bit.
It's a big Rockstar-y kind of thing, though, and it's something I've always kind of grown to like about Rockstar.
Yeah, especially as they've gotten older, they seem to try and go more for that simulator sort of thing.
It is very frustrating when, like, in Grand Theft Auto or whatever, you try to jump off a building and your guy decides to dive head first and go ragdoll physics.
That is pretty frustrating.
Like, that could be frustrating, but think about how funny that was. You know,
it looks really good.
Just hilarious. It's totally worth it.
GTA or Rockstar in general always has done a really good job at ragdoll physics.
Yeah.
I never am disappointed when I die. It looks great, you know.
One of my favorite things to do in Red Dead 1 was just climb to the top of buildings and jump off because he would flail his arms crazily.
Yeah,
just
right.
So funny. So I'm going to give this game an S.
What, S? Are you serious?
S, yeah.
I was going to go B, honestly.
Really?
Yeah, I was going to go
harsh.
B. And I'll tell you why. Because I think they're influentially, I think this game was less of a big deal than something like Grand Theft Auto. And if we're going to put Red Dead as S tier, then where would we put it Grand Theft Auto?
Probably also S tier. That's why I
might
sold
put
so
Grand
many
Theft Auto
bazillions
as
of
A
units.
or S tier, but I don't know about Red Dead.
What if we meet in the middle here? What if we put it in A?
Okay, I guess I could agree with that.
Because the story is really pretty dang good, you know?
It is pretty dang good, and it looks amazing.
The voice acting is all really good. Like, there's so many good aspects of the game.
No doubt. The game itself, I think, is fantastic. I think... And obviously it's very well liked by lots and lots of people, so I think that also gives it cultural relevance to a certain point. But I just mean if we're going to be ranking other Rockstar games later, then I feel like we need to leave some room, you know what I mean?
Rockstar is one of my favorite developers, so I'm going to try to get a lot of their games, though, up
as high as possible. Sure, yeah.
I'm definitely completely biased.
Really quick, let's just get it over with since we're already on the topic.
GTA.
I think this is an S tier game,
S-tier
hands down. This is probably one of the most influential games of the last decade, and it is one of the most sold games of the last decade, and it is a genuinely almost perfect piece of software put together.
For sure, one of the best games ever made. It's definitely in the top 10, you know? So I would say pop that baby in the S tier, right?
I think that has more than reason to be right up there next to Zelda, in my opinion. All right, cool. So, moving on. Let's go up top really quick. Here we go. This is a good one. Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Or Unity. Sorry, there's 1,000 of these. Fuck.
Yeah. I can't keep the names straight ever. Once they stopped numbering them, I gave up.
Yeah, it just became a nightmare. So, this one in particular obviously was hated when it came out. Hardcore because of the ridiculous bugs that it had going on inside of it, and the overall just sloppy nature of the game. This is especially around that time where everyone was really wanting Ubisoft to like take a break from this franchise.
And it's also like, just get your shit together, finish the game before you release it.
Totally, and I think this is kind of a turning point for Ubisoft, where I think they realize that they need to like put more time and thought into making these instead of making them a yearly release sort of thing.
We gotta change something, or people are not gonna buy them.
Yeah, and I think this is around the same time that Watch Dogs-ish came out. The first one, obviously. I think, as far as this game being really bad, obviously it's a terrible video game, but I do think this game sort of paved the way for people putting a little bit more time and thought into their releasing their games, you know?
Yeah, I think that some of the backlash was maybe a little bit helpful. The problem with this game is that I think I might have played it. I gotta look through my games and see if this was the one I played or if it was one of the other ones from around the same time, you know? Yeah. But I did play one of these that was just a buggy mess, and I couldn't play more than like 4 hours of it. I gave up so fast on it.
I think
if this is the game that I'm thinking it is, I would like to plop this baby down in an E.
You really want to go E?
Yeah, let's go ahead and fail this one hard.
I was thinking D, but I think you might be right just because it's such a fucking colossal nightmare of a game and a launch and just all around not good. So I think the only thing redeeming from the Assassin's Creed Unity is that they made one of the most accurate 3D models of the of Notre Dame ever. So I guess that's something.
So at least that is there. That'll probably be preserved.
Yeah, that'll be preserved or whatever, you know, for decades to come.
Yeah.
All right, let's jump back into it with some Marios. Super Mario Odyssey. I think this is a fantastic game, but I think its replay value is just not there.
Yeah, I played through it pretty much the one time, but maybe it's not that old, you know? We can't say whether in 5 years you're going to want to play it again. It might.
And I would think with time this game might become interesting again. I just feel like a lot of the the fun stuff you do in this game is cool once or twice, and then once you see it, you've seen it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Unlike something like Super Mario 64, which I feel like has unlimited
Lots of
replayability. You know,
and I would say that
it never gets old.
Yeah, if I were to play one of these old games, I would play Mario Galaxy before I would play Odyssey. But that might have been just because I went too hard on Odyssey when it came out.
I was gonna say I definitely like Odyssey more than I like the Galaxy series, but I definitely know, or I think that maybe the Galaxy series was overall a better Mario experience.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is a tough one.
It's a tough call.
Yeah.
I would say I could probably put it in an A, but I could see if you put it in a B, I wouldn't fight you on that, you know?
Yeah. I would feel kind of bad putting it in B, but I also feel like Mario doesn't get shit
it's
often
always
enough.
easy for Mario to score real well, right?
Yeah, so let's put him in a B. I think Odyssey is a good B game, even though I enjoy this game a lot and I have no qualms with it in any way. Don't think us rating it a B is a bad thing by any means. Oh, and really quick, just a disclaimer: this, of course, is our opinion and our opinion only. We could not have possibly gotten all of the games of the last decade in this list. So if your game that you're looking forward to us rating is not on this list, I am very sorry. Leave a comment for us down below, and maybe we'll do a video later on about those. That being said, obviously take everything we say with a grain of salt. Moving on. So, Mass Effect 2.
Oh, I did like this one.
This is a great game. This is a fantastic game.
I definitely improved over Mass Effect 1 a lot.
I agree. I'm not a big Mass Effect 1 fan.
It was pretty cool. It was neat. It was big. It was open. It was clunky and a little bit slow, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So,
especially in the beginning, Mass Effect 1
yeah, this Mass Effect 2 did a lot better for me than Mass Effect 1.
Yeah, I think Mass Effect 2 just did everything that was great about Mass Effect 1. It just made it in a more condensed package that I felt like worked a little bit better. It was more combat
focused, I think, which I really appreciated.
Yeah, more combat focused. I definitely would. I wouldn't mind going back and trying to play Mass Effect 1 now that I'm older and maybe have a little bit better of an attention span. But I think it's a solid B game.
I would put it at B too.
Yeah, I think there's a solid B game. I don't think there's much argument to be had there. I really like this game, but I honestly played it the one time, maybe twice, one back when I was a kid, and I haven't touched it since. I think I have it on Origin though, EA Origin. So if you ever want to play that, Peter.
I might. I think I have it on Xbox 360 though, so I probably already got it.
Probably a better one anyway to have it on, in my opinion. More nostalgic, if you will. All right, next up. Ooh. Skyrim.
This is an S tier game for sure.
I completely and utterly agree. I don't think there needs to be any argument about this.
Let's just put it in there and just be done with it. We can move on.
It's a great game, and the cultural relevance of it is just through the fucking roof, right? It is on every console. That game. Everybody loves Skyrim. It is universally amazing. All right, back to the top. Ooh. Super Smash Brothers.
Oh yeah.
I think this is S tier easy.
I think it is easy. Yep, easy money. It's like the best fighting game that's ever been made. That's just
not to mention it has like every video game character fucking ever in it, and we don't even have all of them. If you didn't
make it into Super Smash Brothers, you might not even be a video game character. I don't even know.
Yeah, I don't even know. Well, it can't be for certain actually. If you're a real game character if you're not in Smash Bros. So S tier easy. Moving on. We got a lot of stuff to go through here too, so obviously some things will take more time on than others. But The Last of Us,
this one was pretty fun.
I really like this game. One of my favorites of probably all time.
I would say it's probably B material though.
You think so? What? B material? I would easily.
It's right there next to Mass Effect 2. Think about it.
No, it's way closer to a Red Dead, dude.
No
way
way.
closer to a Red Dead.
It should be next to Red Dead.
The amount of talent
and Mario.
And beautifulness, this game is a masterpiece, hands down.
It's really pretty nice, and it's pretty, but it's it's not like the best game ever made. It doesn't have a ton of replay value. I didn't quite finish it, if I'm honest.
I think it's on the same level as Red Dead as far as an emotional storytelling experience.
I played through Red Dead, and then I played through like the first half of Red Dead again, just because it was so good. In this game, I didn't even quite
haven't played through Red Dead twice, I'll admit, but I have. I've played through Last of Us once all the way through.
I think this game will be an A tier game over My Dead Body.
You're gonna fucking fight me on it.
I will drive up there and I will kick your ass.
Fuck. Fine, I'll put it in B tier, but if people are gonna be pissed. I guess it is our list. I just made that a really big point about how it's our list and you can shove it.
You want to make your own list? You can. I don't care.
I'm disappointed. I can't believe you
That's
just
a
made
B,
did
man.
that.
That game's a B.
I think that's trash, but whatever. All right, moving on. Bayonetta. I'm just gonna
think I bought
Bayonetta
this
1
game,
and 2.
or I bought Bayonetta 2 for the Wii U, but I didn't play my Wii U a whole lot, so I never really played it.
I played this when I lived with Justin, because he had it on the Switch. So I never got around to beating Bayonetta 1, but I played a little bit of both 1 and 2.
How did you like it? How did you feel about it?
Yeah, it was fine.
Was it?
I don't know. I never really had a lot of attachment to Bayonetta or these kinds of action games. It reminded me a lot of like Devil May Cry, those fast-paced button mashy action game sort of things.
Yeah.
The spectacle is really cool, and a lot of people seem to like the Bayonetta.
She's like
series.
shooting like bullets out of her shoes and stuff, right?
I think that's pretty fucking badass.
Yeah.
And she's also in Super Smash Brothers, so I gotta give her some points.
Yeah,
there.
I gotta say,
clearly...
she wouldn't be in Super Smash Brothers unless this was at least a B quality game, right?
I agree. Plus, Platinum Games made Bayonetta, and Platinum Games makes tons of really cool games like Nier Automata. I think it's B material. I think for our list we should put it in C though.
Oh, you're saying C for Bayonetta. I was gonna say B for Bayonetta.
Yeah, I'm saying that Bayonetta starts with a C, and I'm sticking to my guns.
We'll put it in C for Bayonetta.
Okay, C for Bayonetta. Just because I don't have a lot of personal
any big love
attachment.
For it.
Yeah, I don't have any personal attachment to Bayonetta. But I do understand that other people do, and this game coming up is also sort of like that.
Yeah, this is a game I never really heard much about. I've heard the title, and that's about it. So,
really?
Yeah, that's all I really know about it, is that it's called Darksiders. I think there's a Darksiders 2.
There's Darksiders 3.
Ooh.
And I know a lot of people who like this game, and I know that a lot of people enjoyed it. I don't like them very much. I think they're pretty boring.
Okay. Is it like a really slow, very RPG-ish kind of boring? What makes it boring to you?
It's sort of like a mix between something like Bayonetta and Legend of Zelda. So there's like puzzles you solve, but there's also like kind of action-y, fast-paced action-y combat like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think they're fine. I know that there's a people who like these games and enjoy them, but I mean they're not.
It's my list though. If I don't really like it or enjoy it, where do I put it? You know?
Yeah, I honestly would put this even in like.
So do you see it as D for Darksiders or C for Darksiders?
I was thinking it's probably a C, but if we really just want to shit on it, we could put it in D.
It does. The name starts with a D.
It does, and I don't like these games. I'm going with D.
All right,
I don't like Darksiders. I think they're just totally lame and fine. Meh. Darksiders is meh. Okay, another game that I disdain.
Ooh, BioShock 2.
I hate BioShock 2. I think it's a trash video game. I think it was a terrible, terrible sequel to the original BioShock. And I think BioShock Infinite came right after it, and it was a billion times better. So I think BioShock 2 is E tier.
E?
Hands down. Fuck BioShock 2.
I thought it was pretty much just more BioShock. To be honest, I played a little bit of this. I played a little bit of BioShock 1. Mostly I played BioShock Infinite.
It actively angers me. But I could understand putting it in a D. Because it's not a bad game necessarily.
It's just to me, it always seemed like it was just like, oh, it's the new BioShock. It's just more of this BioShock. It sold really well. They made another one. You know?
Yeah, but I just feel like it shits all over the philosophical grace that is BioShock 1.
Well, I'm going to argue for D, even as much as I'd love to put it in B for BioShock, but I'm going to resist that urge.
Yeah, it's hard because you want to put it in places that, the letters it starts with, but
that's not really how this works.
We're ranking. Yeah, we can't. It doesn't work like that. Fine, I'll go D on this only because I could see how it's not like a badly made game necessarily.
Like the gameplay isn't horrible, right?
It might even deserve a C now that I'm coming around on it a little bit.
Now that you're thinking a little more on it, you're raising
But I
it
do
up?
I really think it's just a disgusting. I really hate it.
It's a letdown, really, right?
It's a letdown. C or D? What do you think?
Let's leave it in a C because people will probably hang us at the town square if we put it into D.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Moving on. Remember this one?
Nope.
Okay.
Let's pop it into E. I don't remember this
at
one.
all.
I remember the name of it. I don't remember anything about it.
The commercial had Bill Withers. I know that.
Oh, did it?
Yeah. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone.
It was around that time, huh? It was Xbox 360, so that makes sense.
And so it had a really cool trailer, and that's about, I think, all the good things I have to say about this
I don't really know anything about it, so let's just go ahead and toss it in the garbage.
Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. Sounds good. Fuck Dante's Inferno. All right. Oops.
Oh, Mega Man 10.
Mega Man 10. This was the throwback Mega Man that came out. You remember it was in that 8-bit styling, like 10 and 11, I think were like, or maybe it was 9 and 10 or something like that. Anyway, they kind of had a throwback style. This is kind of what brought Mega Man back into the mainstream. I remember it was really popular on like Xbox Live Arcade at the time. And yeah, I don't know. I like Mega Man 10. It was disgustingly difficult.
I always liked Mega Man. I played only a little bit of this one. I think on an Xbox 360 with like a shitty D-pad, and it was like a little. I was kind of like wishing I could play it on a different console.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
But
I really never played a bunch of this one either, but I love Mega Man.
I really like the box art. That is fucking awesome, right?
I agree. Yeah, the box art is lit as hell, dude. Like, what is even happening? Is awesome.
Yeah, I'd say even though I didn't really play it much, we could probably give it a C, right?
Yeah, I would say easily a C. I think there are better Mega Man games, but I think it was a fine Mega Man game.
I didn't really have any nostalgia for it either, you know? Like, I played a lot of those older Mega Man games when I was a little boy, and I was like, yeah, this is awesome.
Plus, I have the newer Mega Man on this list, and I liked that one better, actually. So.
Yeah, I kind of, the like, newer one?
Yeah, the newer one.
Yeah.
We'll come back around to Mega Man at some point here.
Okay.
Okay, moving on. God of War.
Ooh.
This is an amazing video game. Did
this
you beat
game is pretty awesome. Yeah, I'd say this is easily an A.
Yeah, easy. I completely agree with you. I think it is an amazing video game. I don't know if it was like
it's definitely an A for me. I don't think there's really any argument.
Genre changing, but yeah, A. I think there's it's solid, totally. Totes. Cuckhead.
Oh, Cuckhead.
I think there is never going to be a game made like this ever again.
That's true.
And I think purely for that reason, it might deserve S tier.
It is
it is a tight game. I think it is. There's really nothing bad to say about this game other than it's difficult. Yeah. And the hand-drawn animation is. It will probably never
just because of how beautiful it is. I would say yes, we can pop that into an S tier.
I agree. I think Cuphead is amazing. I think it is
just looking the way it looks and not having anything wrong with it. You know, it makes an S tier game.
Yeah, there's nothing particularly wrong with that game, and it's just fucking beautiful. And they spent so much time and energy drawing every single frame. Like, it's just a really fucking great.
I can't think of a single bad thing to say about it.
Completely and utterly agree with you. I love this sample picture.
Yeah, cool, dude.
Automata, by the way.
Good call.
I love this game. I could see if you didn't like it though. I could see.
I
how
actually
people would
haven't
not like
tried it yet. I tried it one time. Carson had me play it, and I didn't really like the way it was switching between all sorts of different games. It just kind of seemed like it was all over the place, and I couldn't get used to any of these one games. You know,
that's fair, I suppose.
But
it kind of all.
I imagine if I spent more time at it and did get good, like kind of used to all those kinds of what it's doing, I would probably enjoy it more. So it's really one that I'd have to spend more time to really give it an honest judgment.
That's fair. I can appreciate that.
Yeah, I know you're kind of fanboyish about it, so I don't want to let it go too high up on that list.
No, I won't. I was saying I completely understand if someone would put this in a B tier. I totally get it. It's not for everyone. It's really weird.
Yeah.
And you have to play it multiple times to kind of get the whole story, which is also strange.
I've heard that.
But the combat and the RPG elements are exquisite, and it feels just so good to play. It's so smooth, and I love this game. It's one of my favorite games probably ever.
Okay. Well, B tier it is. We can agree on
B
that.
tier it is, though. Yeah. Sounds good to me. Moving on. Hollow Knight.
This one's tight.
This is a great game. I don't know. Once again, I don't know if it's deserving of an S or maybe even an A tier, but I think it's a beautiful, amazing game.
It's easily in the B tier. I kind of want to bump it into the A tier just because I really like it as far as platformers go, like side-scrolling platformers. This is a real good one.
I think I might honestly agree with you on that. I don't know if I have any qualms with putting this game in A tier. I think, especially for being just so influential as an indie game, I think it might deserve a spot in the A tier. And in fact, it might even be one of the most influential indie games of the decade.
And it's real good looking. You know, it's got a cool art style, really good.
It's not quite on the par of a Cuphead, but it still looks amazing.
It's not that good looking, but it's real good looking.
It's made by a really small team of people too, which is pretty cool.
Team Cherry. I think, right?
Yes, Team Cherry. Yep. All right, Hollow Knight, A tier. Nice. Fight me. All right, let's go down. Next up, this is a good one. Final Fantasy 13.
This is.
Oh man.
I just didn't care for it, and I know that there are people who do, but I just don't like it.
I completely agree with you. This is my least favorite Final Fantasy game by a long shot.
And they made 3 of them. God damn it.
Oh my god. Yeah, actually we should. I
want to put this in an E tier. My gut is telling me to put it there.
Yeah, I think I'd have to agree with you. Let's fuck the fanboys.
It's right around the time that I did not like the games Square was making anymore at a certain point, you know? Like those mainline Final Fantasy games for a few years just were not on it for me.
That is totally fair, especially around this time. The Final Fantasy games were just not there.
Yeah.
Plus, I personally like Final Fantasy 15, and I think it's a much better video game.
It is better than that, that's for sure.
Heart Gold.
Ooh, great remake.
Yeah, I agree. I think this is one of the best Pokemon games.
It's one of the best Pokemon games, and Pokemon games are one of the best series. So
true that. I think this is a solid B or A tier.
I'd say it's A tier. I would fight you if you tried to put it down into B tier.
I think, honestly, I agree with you because I think second generation of Pokemon is the best generation of Pokemon, and the DS remake of these games was
this is the one with 16 gyms in it too. It's like twice the size of your regular Pokemon game. It's awesome.
Exactly, you get all of Johto and Kanto. It's amazing, and some of the best starters in a whole. Just all around the bomb.
Great game.
This is a great video game.
Oh, Just Cause 2.
So this is one of those, like I was mentioning earlier, where Just Cause 2 and 3 came out in the last decade, or actually I think even Just Cause 4 also came out in the last decade.
They rushed a few of these out.
They're all so similar to each other. I sort of just figured we could put the last couple Just Cause games all in one big thing.
Okay, so
where
this
would
is
you put
specifically Just Cause 2. This is Just Cause 2, 3, 4. Where do we feel that series fits into this list?
The Just Cause franchise as of the modern age in the past decade or so.
I'm gonna say this is a B.
I was gonna probably say C, just because these games are really fun, but they're not super well made.
That's true. They have their problems. I could see it being a C.
But I mean, a lot of people like these games.
But also, especially, just think of how much fun it is. Dicking around sandboxing in that game. Totally. It's great. It has a whole appeal to it.
It's totally not like something that is good or should be good by any means, but it works.
Just
really
happens
well.
to be fun.
And it's really fun to play. I've spent countless hours just running around in this game. Do we want to go easy on it, or do we want to go hard on it?
Because the series does have its problems. Let's pop it into C because it has its quality control problems.
I agree. I think it more belongs in a C, but I really like Just Cause. Don't think that we're hating on Just Cause by putting it in here by any means. Love it. Loving it. Moving on. Skate 3.
Oh.
Did you play a lot of the Skate franchise?
Did not play much of it. I know you got big into it for a little while.
Yeah, I like the Skate franchise and more of a Tony Hawk guy.
Yeah.
But I think these are totally solid games. I would probably put it in a C. I think C is a fine.
Yeah, and I know people want more of them.
Definitely, people want more of them. In fact, I'm sure some people will probably be angry of our C rating, but
yeah,
I just like Tony Hawk.
I'm more of a Tony Hawk guy. I like the crazy, wild things you do. I gotta take my dog out real quick though. I'll be right back.
Oh yeah, quick break. Quick mess. Horizon Zero Bong.
Zero bongs. Not one bong in that game.
Nope, not a single one. Where are we rating this?
I'd say that's a solid A. I'd put it right next to God of War any day,
I agree with you. I really like Horizon. I played the shit out of this game. I did just about everything there is to do in this game. The
only problem with this game is that there's not more of it.
The only issue I have is that we're rating this above The Last of Us and Nier Automata, which are both some of my favorite fucking video games.
But think about how good this game is.
God damn it. The Last of Us is way better than Horizon in my opinion.
Not the gameplay.
Oh my god, I disagree
It was all
with that.
story driven, and this was all like.
Also, Nier Automata, I would also put that above Horizon. I love Horizon, but damn, brutal.
You put that above
dude.
Horizon?
Brutal, Peter. Yeah, totally. You kidding
well,
me?
if you want to put Horizon into the B's with those guys, you're welcome to.
The Last of Us and Nier Automata in the same exact row as God of War or Red Dead any day.
Well,
I definitely think Horizon is more of a B, but
all right, you can put it in B.
I feel bad putting it in B. Don't get me wrong, I love it, but if we're gonna put The Last of Us in
Nier, that's where we draw the line, that's what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm sorry, we gotta draw the line somewhere, and I think that's it right there.
Get it in there.
I love that we put Heart Gold and Hollow Knight above the AAA Guerrilla Studios game, Horizon Zero Dawn.
But the Heart Gold and Hollow Knight are really good.
True, yeah, that would be true. Oh man, okay. This is an interesting one.
Oh man, Sky.
So the weird thing about this game is that when it came out, it was a colossal fucking disaster. And now it is quite popular and lots of people like it. It's been updated into oblivion. It's almost a completely different game than it was when it very first came out, and it has like a community around it now, and lots of people really enjoy it. I haven't played it in the past couple months, but maybe a year ago or so I think I got pretty deep into giving it a go.
This game, when it first came out, it would have been E territory, no problem,
Definitely
straight to the bottom of the list. But it's kind of been crawling its way out of there since then,
Yeah, definitely.
So what do you think? Did it get up to D or did it get up to C?
I was considering putting it in a B, but I don't think it belongs there just because of how hard it crashed.
I think it does just because of its history.
But I think it definitely deserves to be in C, just because of how far it's come. And I don't know. I'd play it nowadays. I'd probably give it another
I could
shot.
see you putting it next to Just Cause. That makes me feel okay about it.
I agree. I think that makes me feel pretty good about it. It definitely doesn't deserve to be an A, and it probably doesn't deserve a B. No. It's just not that polished. But pretty solid video game. I love the look of that game. The whole art creative direction is super cool. Moving on. Mighty Number 9.
This is another big flop. I actually didn't play it because it did so bad.
I played it. It was not good.
How bad would you say?
I mean, mechanically, it's not horrible. I mean, the problem with the game is it doesn't feel very good. It works fine. It doesn't feel great. And it's just a disappointment. It probably deserves E.
Let's
territory.
Put it in D for disappointment.
Yeah, I agree, though. I was going to say, I don't know if it's quite as bad as everyone was saying it was, but it's not good. It's not good. It doesn't really give you any reason to want to play it. It probably deserves to be an E if I'm being completely honest, but D for disappointment I think is appropriate.
Yeah, that works for me.
Stardew Valley.
Ooh, I sunk a lot of time into this
one. I sunk a buttload of time into this game too. And a lot of people really like this game, and I think it's kind of an indie darling. Honestly, I think this is A tier easy.
Easy A tier, yeah. I got to agree. A-tier. I wouldn't quite put it into S tier.
Yeah, I don't know if it's quite an S tier.
If the combat were more fun for me, I think it could be an S tier.
Yeah,
but just going into the mines is not as much fun as I'd like for it to be.
Agreed. A tier. Done. Oh, this is a good one. Star Wars Battlefront.
Yeah.
EA. Once again, this is one of those where it's like I decided to kind of just do Battlefront 1 and 2 in the same boat because they were both a colossal disaster.
Yeah.
And
either way, it's not looking good.
I think easily, just for the reason of this franchise pretty much creating modern day loot boxes as we know it. I mean, E tier, right?
Yeah, I would put this in an E tier. Isn't the this is the one that got the most disliked comment on Reddit ever? Was it when EA was defending this game?
Yeah, I think so. And this is also the one in the second one where they like created pretty much awful loot boxes and
yeah.
The problem is the game isn't mechanically bad necessarily. The game plays pretty well. We actually played it back on the Digital Therapy channel with Justin one time.
And it was kind of fun to fiddle around with, but it's not like a full game, like something that I would buy and play for a long time or anything like that.
I would feel kind of bad putting in an E. I feel like that's just not necessary, but I do think it's pretty awful in a lot of ways.
Yeah, there's a lot of things wrong with it.
Yeah. It's not a mechanical disaster, so D is probably good, but I mean,
if it played worse, we would put it in an E.
Yeah, but what it represents is the dark side.
Yeah.
Haha, but
good one.
All right.
Uh-oh.
E tier.
Yeah, why does this have to be the one that we get this decade, huh?
Yeah, right? What the fuck?
Fuck you. Put it in E.
Yeah, this totally just deserves an E. This is a bad video game. Badly made, badly designed, all around just bad.
Disaster.
Not good. Disappointment and just blech. Apparently they're trying to make another one.
Yeah, if you're going to make another one of those, make it good.
Yeah, maybe just remake the first couple. That might be a good idea.
Ooh, an HD remake of a bunch of old Tony Hawk games.
Didn't they make an HD remake of Tony Hawk, actually? They did. Tony Hawk Pro Skater HD back in
that's right.
2012. They totally made that. I forgot they did that.
I totally did too.
Huh. We should give that a shot.
We should, yeah.
That would be cool.
Is it Tony Hawk 1 or Tony Hawk 2, or is it just like a bunch of random levels?
I think it's a little bit of Tony Hawk 1 and 2, but I think it's mostly 1, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's classic levels from Tony Hawk 1 and Tony Hawk 2. Oh, yeah. And Pro Skater 3 via download.
Yeah, that was a good one too.
Interesting.
Why not 4 though? Why not get some Tony Hawk 4 in there?
Yeah, I agree. Tony Hawk 4 was great too.
Also, Underground.
Yeah. Oh my God. Please just remake Underground. Can you just remake Underground? Oh my God, that would be amazing. Holy shit. We should do a list of things I want really bad, and then that would be up there.
We'll mail it off. We'll mail the list off to like the president or whoever.
We'll mail it to Tony Hawk. We'll say, Tony Hawk, please inquire about remaking Tony Hawk Pro Skaters. All right.
Make sure it's clear though that we do not want a new Tony Hawk. We want a remake.
Yeah, I just want you to remake the good stuff that's already there, and then maybe eventually remake American Wasteland. I would like that too.
That one was pretty good.
Yeah, like 7, like a solid 6 or 7, but I like that one.
Yeah.
Anyway, Undertale.
Undertale.
This is one of my favorite games ever made. I love it. Yep. I think it's culturally important.
I played a bit of it. It was pretty awesome. I've been, needing to go back, but it's an RPG. It's not super fast paced or anything.
S tier.
I don't know about that. I didn't enjoy it that much.
S tier.
I would put it right next to Stardew Valley. I'd let you do that.
Fine. I think it deserves S tier.
But did you even play it for as long as you played Stardew Valley?
I guess maybe...
Which one got more of your time?
Hour-wise, yeah, Stardew Valley probably got more of my time, but I've replayed through Undertale multiple times, and I think it is probably one of the most innovative RPGs to come out in the last decade, and it's one of the most innovative indie games to come out in the last decade, and it has an insane fan base around it.
Insane fan base is not always a good thing, though,
Not always a good thing, but and in this case, I agree with you that the Undertale fan base is cringe. Yeah. But God, dude, relevant as fuck.
Yeah, It's a good game, but I wouldn't say it's like the best game of the decade or nothing.
Fair enough. That's why we're tiering our list so that we can better define what makes and does not make a game of the decade. That's what we're here for. We are
like Mario Maker.
Yeah, Mario Maker's great, dude. Great game. I didn't get Mario Maker 2 because Mario Maker 2 is pretty much just a better version of Mario Maker 1.
Yeah, it's basically just upgraded Mario Maker.
Solid B game, I think.
I'd say I'd give it an A.
You think so? A? Why?
Yeah. It's because you could do anything in it, And so there's a lot of really well-made levels out there that anyone could have made,
I will give you that. I think it sort of has a cultural importance, especially as of the last couple of years. It has been a talk of the town in the news.
It's a game about game development, and so that's pretty neat.
I do agree with you. That is pretty cool. You think it belongs in the A's up there with Undertale and Red Dead Redemption?
Yeah.
I still think it's a B, but all right, if that's what you think, I'm not gonna
that's
argue.
My personal bias. I'm a big Nintendo guy.
I still would put this in B. I feel like it deserves to be B. Because really, when it comes down to it, it doesn't like change anything particularly. It's a really good Mario level designer, and lots of people make lots of cool levels on it, and I think it's a solid B.
But it could be anything,
It could be anything, but more often than not, it's just Mario.
I don't know. There's some good Mario levels out there.
See, because, think about it. Mario Odyssey, for instance. Groundbreaking. Lots of ways.
Well, it's mostly just the next step of the 3D Marios, which we've already got the 3D Marios in an 8.
Well, even then, is it as good as Mario Galaxy?
I'd say it is, yeah. I enjoy it about as much, but
I guess it's in a different way. You could say that it is as good as Mario Galaxy, but
it just kind of depends how much you enjoy that sort of thing. If you're really into level creating and
I guess just for the pure fact that I do think it has had some sort of cultural influence, I'll give you the A. I guess I'll do it.
Yeah, it's definitely not an S tier.
I still think Last of Us should be A tier, but all right, whatever. I'll fight you till the day I die on that. All right, Fallout 76.
76. The most expensive pile of crap we've ever seen.
Yeah, E tier, easy, right?
Yeah, it's just all the problems that it's had, and then it's never sort of done anything right.
If I could have a lower rating for this, I would give it to it, but the next lowest rating is off the list, and I do think it deserves to be on the list for being a colossal disaster. So, I think E tier.
It's pretty significantly bad.
Also, with how good the Fallout series generally is, it is also a gigantic disappointment.
How big the fan base got when we were hot right off of Fallout 4. You remember when that was the big game? Everybody was into it.
Plus, it's kind of a fall of Bethesda, even, I would say, because they've become a completely different company since this game.
Yeah.
All around bad, not good. In the wake of that, a real Fallout game
much
here.
Better.
This is a really good game.
This is.
I think B.
A lot of people like to complain about it and say that it's not as good as Fallout 3, but I honestly I like it better.
I think I like it better than Fallout 3 as well. I don't think I like it better than Fallout New Vegas, but just the overall quality of life improvements this game brings are enormous, and I just think it better encapsulates the Fallout experience.
I could see this being an A though.
No. I don't think the story is good enough.
But I don't need a story for a game to be an A.
It's a Fallout game. Fallout games are half about the world and the characters and,
but it's
and
also
what's going
an
on
RPG,
around.
And it's it is a lot about the world, but the world is still the world of Fallout. That's still pretty cool.
Yeah, but I would say Fallout 3 has a much better story and even some characters and stuff
but it doesn't feel as good to play.
It doesn't feel as good to play. But
the
that's what I'm saying.
Gameplay here,
a solid B.
I don't know.
Because I would not even say Fallout 4 is as good as a Skyrim. I really like Fallout 4. It's definitely no S.
It's definitely not as good as Skyrim. Nobody's trying to put it up there.
I don't know if it belongs in A.
Are you sure?
I think so. I would say it's a
2016
B.
or whenever when this was the new game, like it was awesome. It was
It
big.
was.
Everybody played it.
You're right. We should talk about how it was crazed at the time, especially like everyone was playing this. It was insane. I just don't think it had the longevity. I don't think it was as good, if I'm being honest.
Do you never go back and play it? You know,
I do. I totally do.
If they released this for my Switch, I would buy it in a second. You know.
Definitely. No, I agree with you. And I have gotten Skyrim on my Switch as of the last little while, and I do play that as well. It's nice having it on there. It's great on there. Yeah. I don't know. I guess we could put Fallout 4 in A. I just think it belongs more in a B.
I would just say for how big it was when it came out, it was a really big thing.
It was pretty big.
Gaming as a whole, it was shifted.
It definitely kind of reminded me of like when Halo used to be a big thing when this came. You know. Like, it was an event when Fallout came out. I'll say that much. It was an event, for sure. Also,
it being in A tier kind of gives us more reason to toss Fallout 76 in the E tier, because it was so disappointing, you know?
Yeah, true. But I still... I don't know. I'm standing by that I think Fallout 4 deserves to be in B tier. I don't think it deserves to be in A tier.
I think that you're seeing that the B tier is looking a little meager. There's only 5 games.
It is looking a little meager, I gotta admit. You know? I feel like we're not going middle as much as we're going harsh. Or
either we love it or we hate it.
Yeah, we either love it or we hate it. All right. Anyway, moving on past Fallout. Destiny.
This is a solid B game.
I decided to roll in Destiny 2 with this, and I think that makes it an A game.
Yeah, Destiny 2 is still not
the cultural relevance.
I want out of Destiny.
It has crawled itself out of a gutter. I have to give it some credit for that, and it's Bungie, man.
Yeah, but there was a pretty good while where it got pretty microtransaction-y, you know.
That's true. I'll give you that. Maybe, I guess B is probably appropriate. Our B's area is looking a little scarce anyway.
And it's a solid B game, you know. If Mario Odyssey can be in a B, so can Destiny.
That's fair. Honestly, Destiny probably would deserve more of like a C, but I guess we're being nice.
It could be placed lower on this list.
I like Destiny. I want to like Destiny. That's a good way to put it. I want to like Destiny so hard.
Yeah. I would love it if Destiny was exactly what I wanted out of Destiny, but it never quite is.
It never is quite what I would like out of it. Celeste.
Ooh.
This is a great video game.
This is a pretty rad game.
This is a fantastic video game. I think this is S tier.
S tier? I was going to say A, but...
I think it's a really good game.
It is really, really great. I haven't done much replay. I played through most of it. I almost 100% it when I played through it. There's
maybe not S tier.
But maybe A tier, it definitely fits for me.
I think, I do think it is amazing. Plus, it's made by the guy who made Towerfall, and I love Towerfall.
Yeah, Matt makes games.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Towerfall. Is Towerfall made in this decade?
Oh, yeah.
Did that one make the list?
Don't you worry your pretty little head.
That's here we go. Towerfall. S tier, baby.
I mean, I think this is probably deserves to be a C game, but I like it a lot.
I like the PvP is so much, just all the fun times we had, hanging out at your place and playing this game like a 1, 2, 3, 4 player game. It's just great. Anyway you play it.
Totally. I think this is one of the best multiplayer games of the past decade, hands down.
Yeah.
And I have never gotten more angry than I have playing this game.
Yeah.
I think
it gets competitive.
It gets super competitive, and if you haven't played it, I think you should. They totally deserve it. This is a fantastic video game. It doesn't even cost that much. You can get this game for like $10. Do it. Do it.
I bought it on my PS4 and my Switch.
That's a great call, just in case you're ever anywhere and you need to,
also,
Towerfall.
I haven't had it happen yet, but think about how good it is to have, it's a Joy-Con game. You can pass Joy-Con to somebody and just do 1v1s on it.
You're right, actually. That would be a great game for that. Like, if you're just, like, stuck somewhere for whatever reason, you have your Switch or something
plane or a train or a bus or something.
It'll happen. You're gonna be like,
one of these days, I'll be real happy I got that.
What about Shovel Knight, my dude?
I really like Shovel Knight. It's definitely an A or a B game.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. I would feel really bad putting it in C, and I think it's a really good game. I haven't played this one as much as I would like to be honest. I feel like a bad gamer.
Yes? Get out of my room, Mom. I'm playing Minecraft.
Gosh, we're doing very important business here, Mom, okay? Jesus Christ. Anyway, I feel like bad gamer for not having played Shovel Knight as much as other people have.
You should. It's when it goes on sale, you should get like the full bundle edition.
That's kind of what I've been waiting for, is to get all the pieces now that they've released a bunch of DLC and stuff for it.
I did that for Christmas like a year or two ago, so it was like almost a year or two on the dot that I was playing a bunch of this. But
oh, nice, for sure.
It's
I mean, it's a great game. I've definitely played it, really liked it, and I mean, a lot of people really like this game. I think it's crazy it's gone on for as long as it has and become as big of a thing as it has.
Yeah.
Definitely think it's deserved of a B.
I think they just recently released the final thing for it.
Yeah, I think you're right. They just recently released like the final DLC or something like that for it.
I think it's like a Smash Bros kind of thing they did with it too. Which is
cool. Oh, that's right. Wait, they released a
like
card game and a fighting game actually.
Oh, are they doing a card game too?
Yeah, there's a card game and like a Super Smash Brothers-y sort of game. Shovel Knight has become this insane thing. Like everyone knows about it and likes it. I don't know. I gotta give them credit for that.
Got real big.
When indie games get big like that, it's like, I don't know. They're doing something right. Yeah, they're killing it. That's awesome. All right. So Shovel Knight B, PT.
This game never even came out though.
I know. I thought this is a little bit of a, obviously, it never came out. It's a little bit of a gimmick, but it was a really, really cool demo, and I
never
played a lot of it.
So I couldn't really say.
You never tried it?
No.
Dude, Hideo Kojima's and Guillermo del Toro's.
I'm not super obsessed with Hideo Kojima and Guillermo del Toro like you are,
Fair enough. That's fair. I think this is really cool. It's a bummer that it went away. I know it's a little.
I don't think it ever came out though, so I don't think we can rate it. I don't think that should be on the list, right?
You don't think it should be on the list at all?
It's not a real game. It never fully came out.
All right, fine. I'll delete it. It's gone.
Like you could speculate how good it might have been, but
the demo was cool.
Yeah, but until they go back to it and make it, we can't really say if it's a good game or not.
That's fair. Rocket League.
Sprocket League. This is not exactly my favorite game. I like to play a game or two of Rocket League, but I'm very bad at it.
Yeah, I'm not the most best at Rocket League. I've sunk a decent amount of time into this game now. I think it's a cool game.
I'd say this is a solid B.
Yeah, I would give it a solid B. And
it's not my favorite game. It's not my least favorite game. It's pretty fun.
But it's also kind of become a big thing in the mainstream, which I think is cool.
Yeah, it's kind of like got a huge scene for it too.
Definitely, and especially for like kind of more of they're not really indie now, but when they started, they were.
Originally got big because it was a free game on PS Plus. Like that's how a lot of people started playing it.
Yeah, absolutely. You're totally right. So yeah, Rocket League I think is easy B. I think that's where it belongs. Good. Fortnite.
Fortnite belongs in the trash.
No, I mean, come on.
This game sucks.
This game is the most culturally relevant game of the past decade.
It sucks, though. Like, it sucks to play. It's like, oh, I'm going to try to shoot this guy until he builds a giant fortress around him all of a sudden.
I've been getting pretty good at this game.
It's so stupid.
I've been getting pretty good at this game. I mean, I'm no pro. I'm no ninja or Shroud. Okay. But I do a Fortnite on occasion, and I'm getting pretty good at the sniping and the building and the thing. I'm not getting wrecked by 10-year-olds every time I drop in.
But if somebody does kill you, they probably are 10 years old.
Yeah, that's true. I do feel bad about that a lot. I get pretty angry when I think I'm getting killed by 10-year-olds.
When you get dropped by 10-year-olds.
I mean, I just think this game is insanely relevant. It has become the most popular game ever, and I mean, there's something to say for that. There's something to say for that.
There is something to say for that, but also, it's so boring to play. Oh, I hate playing it.
Say what you will, but it's A tier, dude. A tier.
Oh, put it in the B.
Easy A tier. Easy
it should be there
A-tier.
next to Celeste. Celeste is so much better.
Yeah, actually, yeah, that does make me kind of grossed out.
Yeah.
Good point.
I'd put it next to Rocket League, where Rocket League has its huge fan base, for
we
a
could
reason.
really shit on Fortnite.
I would like to shit on it if you'd let me.
We could really shit. I don't think it deserves to be a C. Should we put it
definitely
like
doesn't
somewhere
deserve
in
to
the
be
middle?
as popular as it is either. We could put it in the middle if you like.
That seems ambiguous, but sure, why not? This is
you
our
could
rule.
call it a C. You could call it a B.
This is our list.
We can't give it an A.
We can put whatever we want. I mean, I feel like it should belong in the A or the S, but up next to all these fantastic video games kind of makes me sick. So can't do that.
Overwatch.
Overwatch.
Big dog.
I mean, yeah. Overwatch.
I would put it in an S tier easy, you know, just with how much time I've spent into it and just how good of a shooter and how good it feels. I would say
think
S tier.
Definitely design-wise, this game is impeccable. I think it is a almost perfectly designed video game. The characters are, next level. Memorable. I think
it's got great character
the gameplay is amazing.
Design,
We've sunk hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands, of hours into playing
I'm almost
Overwatch.
level 1,000 in that game.
Jesus
I'm like
Christ.
996 or something like that. I'm so close.
And yeah, I think this is Blizzard's magnum opus, if you will.
It's definitely their best PvP experience they've ever had.
Did we already do Watch Dogs?
I don't think so. We mentioned it, but I don't think we put it on the list.
Okay, yeah. So Watch Dogs.
You're gonna wash some dogs.
This is quite a bit of a different game than Overwatch.
Yeah, this is a stark contrast. It's like, you know, what they were aiming for was for us to put it up there right next to Grand Theft Auto. You know,
Yeah,
that's what they wanted out of this the whole time.
They want that, but it's not gonna happen.
It's not there.
I think this is a terrible video game. This is not good.
Yeah, especially the first one was pretty bad.
But I do love the style of this game.
Yeah.
I love the setting, the world that this game inhabits.
The idea behind it is pretty cool too. You know, like you can hack the world, or you can hack a car or a tree or whatever.
Yeah, I'm always hacking trees. You know.
Yeah.
And so I think this is it was culturally relevant in the way that it was fucking awful. So what? Do you think it's around the same as The Order 1886?
I would say,
It was hyped really hard and then crashed and burned.
Yeah, you could put it there for sure.
Because I also wouldn't say...
It's not quite so bad that it's an E. It's not a terrible, horrible video game.
Yeah, it's not mechanically bad necessarily.
It was never what we wanted out of it.
Yeah, it's just not very good. So anyway, yeah, D tier for Watch Dogs. Next is Watch Dogs 2, which I think is a much, much better video game. I definitely don't think it deserves to be a D. It's probably a C sort of game.
I would say C seems fair.
But it's really fun, and I don't think it should be pooped on as much as maybe
it really
is
was
sometimes.
Just better than the one before it, right?
Yeah.
It was basically just that, but a bit better.
It was fun when there wasn't anything else to play.
It did come during a drought.
It came during a drought, which was helpful for it. It definitely doesn't belong in B, though. I mean, come on. Not a B game by any means. I'd feel sick putting it in the B.
It wouldn't be right down there. Not down there next to Watch Dogs 1.
No, God, no. The Wolfenstein series.
Yeah,
I also just kind of lumped these in together because they're both very, very similar. And it kind of rejuvenated the Wolfenstein series.
The modern Wolfenstein.
I think these are great, but I still think they're about C games. I don't personally see anything particularly game-changing about them.
It's a shooter, you know? There's nothing super amazing about it. It's not a Dishonored to me.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree
like Dishonored is from, I think, a lot of the same people even, but it's just there's so much more to it to me.
Well, Wolfenstein is machine games, and Dishonored is Arcane Studios, right?
Yeah, that's who it is. That's
right. That being said, Arcane Studios helped machine games with the most recent Wolfenstein game that came out, Youngblood or whatever.
Okay.
So apparently Youngblood felt a little bit more Dishonored-y, I guess, in how it played. At least I've heard from a couple people. But I've heard that game is pretty mediocre compared to...
Yeah, I really only played a little bit of the Wolfensteins. Of any of the Wolfensteins, old or new. It was really not my thing.
I liked the first Wolfenstein: The New Colossus and The New Order are pretty decent games. I would still put them in probably, I don't know, C. I think they're fine.
Yeah, I would be okay to put them in a C.
Oop, I'm doing a really bad job at lining those up, but whatever, fuck it.
Whatever.
I can't let me play stuff now. God damn it. Stick of Truth.
South Park.
This is an awesome video game.
Yeah, I never actually played it, but we watched Jared speedrun it.
We did watch our friend speedrun that. It wasn't, or I don't think his name was Jared, but Jacob, that's his name.
Jacob, that's right. Yeah,
Nailed
it was
it.
a long time ago now.
Thanks, Jacob. Anyway, the Stick of Truth is cool. I never beat this one, but a lot of people like it. I like South Park pretty alright. And I think it's a C game. Right?
From what I saw, it seemed like it was pretty funny. It didn't seem like there was anything, bad about the gameplay. It was a pretty RPG-ish game,
Yeah, it seemed like a pretty solid RPG game, and the game was definitely set up to feel just like a South Park episode, which I thought was pretty neat.
Yeah, I think it was well written. It was just like a South Park episode.
Definitely. Do you remember this game? Thief.
I remember seeing it before it came out and hearing that it did not do well.
It did not do well. It's based off of a really old series called Thief on the PC. And I was definitely expecting this to be like on par with Dishonored, and I don't think it was.
Yeah.
And yeah, I definitely think it wasn't like a mechanically horrible game, but just boring and not really fun in any way.
A lot of shooters can just kind of feel just dry like that. I don't know what it is, but there's just nothing special about it.
It's more of like a stealth game, but definitely see where you're coming from. It was first person for sure, so it just didn't really do anything like new or interesting particularly, and it was just kind of a clunky mess.
Nothing special.
Danganronpa, dog.
Dingus Rompus.
I love Danganronpa.
This game, I remember seeing you play it, but it seemed like it was probably way too over the top anime for me.
Yeah, definitly really not your thing.
Like
I could see if most people wouldn't really like this, to be honest. It's like a graphic novel sort of game. I mean, I as much as I love Danganronpa, I think it is easily a C video game.
there's nothing that I could see value from it.
It doesn't do anything crazy gameplay wise. It has a really interesting story.
So
yeah.
I wouldn't see it being in the B category.
But I really, really like this game. No hate to Danganronpa. I have every single one of them. I love it. Love it. Death Stranding.
Death Stranding.
I like Death Stranding a lot. I really want to hand my copy off to you at some point so you can give it a shot.
Yeah,
I don't know if it'll be your thing, but
try it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it wouldn't really be my thing.
I don't know if it is going to be either, but I'm kind of interested to see what your reaction is from playing it. I'm really interested to see anyone react to this game.
I would be interested to try it for sure.
I think this honestly belongs in its own category, which is just weird. Like the weird category. I think it's a good game. I think it has a lot of problems, but I enjoyed it a lot. I could definitely see how a lot of people would not enjoy it, and I could definitely see how you would look at this game and be like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, like what is even happening?
But I mean,
everything from I've seen of it just looks confusing.
It's definitely confusing. I'm gonna put it in the B, row, but I'm gonna put it on the end here. Because it's weird, and I get it if you don't like it.
Yeah. It's maybe not for everyone.
And I think honestly, Hideo Kojima would be proud of us putting his game
separate.
Aside.
Keep it away from the rest of that.
Just separate from
trash.
all the other games. Yeah, don't keep it anywhere near that stuff, okay? It's way too pretentious for that.
Yeah.
Alright, Metal Gear Solid 5.
Kojima.
More Hideo Kojima.
This one is a lot more conventional game, though.
Definitely a lot more conventional game. I think it is a solid game. I liked the gameplay aspect of it a lot. I think the story was a mess. And it also has the negative aspect of pretty much, Konami obviously being shitty and also ruining Hideo Kojima's Metal Gear Solid series pretty much.
It was like right after this game that he stopped working with them. So
yeah, I think this is a solid C game. I would even go as far to say that because of what they did to Hideo, I would maybe put it a D. But
that doesn't degrade the quality of his work, though.
No, yeah, not necessarily. And I think
dock him points for that.
No, and I think the game itself is really fun to play. It has a really nice gameplay loop.
Yeah.
Moving on, Stanley Parable.
This was the one that we played pretty much through at one time. It was like a story-ish kind of like first-person-y game.
Yeah, sort of.
Right?
Yeah,
there was a narrator talking about your life, kind of saying jokes and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. We pretty much played through it all in one go. I've actually played through this game a couple times to see all the different scenarios and stuff like that. But yeah, really neat game. It definitely has a lot of like Portal-y influences, I feel like.
Yeah.
And it's really sarcastic and fun.
It's a really interesting game, but it's not the kind of game that you'd spend a whole ton of time playing just because you get through it and when you beat it, there's only so many ways to get through it,
I agree. Yeah,
it does have a little replay value because you can go do things differently.
Of course. and I definitely think it kind of made a splash in video game culture. But
like indie game scene.
Yeah, but once again, yeah, I think you're right in saying that. I don't know if it really had a lot more than just of what it was, you know.
It's like a fun little story, but it's not a super great, long-lasting video game.
Exactly. A Link Between Worlds on the 3DS.
Oh, this game was good, actually. Did you play this one?
I never beat it, but I did play quite a bit of it. I never got quite as much into it as like what was it, Link to the Past, or even the most newer one on Link's Awakening I've been playing through recently.
Yeah.
But it was pretty solid. I enjoyed it.
It was a really good game when we weren't getting a lot of Zelda games too, you know. It was kind of during that dry spell before Breath of the Wild hit.
True, very true. And they definitely were trying to recapture that 2D sort of Zelda magic.
Yeah, they kind of brought it back to its roots, but it was a new game. I really, really liked it. I could see it being a B category game.
I definitely think it deserves to be a B. I would probably put it in C just of kind of my history with it, I guess. I never beat it and never got super into it. But I would feel bad putting it in C if I'm being honest.
It was a good quality game, you know. There was nothing wrong with it.
Nothing wrong with it. It just didn't click with me, you know. That is what it is. Black Flag. I know this is a divisive one between you and me.
Well, I actually haven't really played this one, but I got so sick of the boat bullshit on Assassin's Creed 3 that I decided not to buy this one.
I hate that you always bring it back to that, but I mean, I could see at the time how you would think that, but definitely, I honestly, it would be silly to go back and play this at this point, unless for whatever reason you got it.
I actually do have it on my wish list. They have it on the Switch now. I was like, well, maybe one day when it gets real cheap, I'll try it out.
That is cool, actually. Yeah, but if it ever gets really cheap, maybe give it a shot. I played this game a lot specifically because when I got my PS4, I got it a couple weeks after it came out, and there wasn't a lot of games to play. So the one game I did have was Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, which I played the utter shit out of. I think I actually might have platinumed it, but played a lot of this game. I really liked the whole boating around and going to islands and stuff like that. I would even put it in a B game, but I could see how it could be a C game.
Yeah, I could see it going into a B category, but it's not like.
This is my favorite Assassin's Creed game.
Yeah, I liked Brotherhood best. So if Brotherhood comes up, that one's definitely at least in the B, you know? But what I'm saying is I could see Assassin's Creed being in a B category or being in a C category, or obviously we've already plopped one in E. So
that's true.
It's already been down there. It can only get better.
I'll give this a C just because I can understand why someone wouldn't be interested, especially if they've played a lot of Assassin's Creed before. It's really nothing new or different, but I really liked the whole world exploration in that game. I thought it was pretty neat with boating around and stuff like that.
It's maybe just a little bit more modern Assassin's Creed than what you would get with the older Ezio ones, you know?
Exactly. Next up is Pokemon Shield.
I did like these Pokemon games.
I thought it was good too.
I liked them almost as much as I liked X and Y when I first played X and Y. I really liked those ones.
I think I like X and Y a little bit more.
Just a little bit.
And also just all the backlash that is behind this game has definitely turned a lot of people off to it. I wouldn't be against putting this in C if I'm honest.
I would put it into an A personally. I think
compromise and go with a B.
It's a Pokemon game, and it's hard to put Pokemon low on a list. You know, no matter what it is, it's Pokemon,
True.
So it's gonna be fun.
When it comes down to it, it's Pokemon. You know, so like don't go into it expecting a crazy new experience. But I mean, it is what it is, and it works well for what it is. And they definitely made a lot of improvements. It's definitely not my favorite Pokemon game that's come out in the past decade, especially compared to something like Heart Gold or X and Y. But I liked it. And speaking of that, coming up next is Pokemon X.
I would say this one goes in an A with like Heart Gold and stuff.
I agree. I think this is A material. This is probably one of...
And it's enough that we both were like, yeah, I like this one just a little more than the Sword and Shield, the new ones, you know?
Exactly,
and so it belongs on just a little bit higher tier than that.
It just hit at a perfect time with the nostalgia and everything. I don't know what it was. I think that game really nailed it.
It made the games a lot prettier, too.
Yeah, that was a big thing. That was the first time that they really gave you a lot of graphical freedom when it came to how
felt
you were
less
able
like
to
you
see
were
it.
on a chess mat, going left, right, up, down, from one block to one block.
Exactly.
It was a lot more free.
Um,
Rogue Legacy is awesome.
Yeah, Rogue Legacy is amazing. This is insanely replayable. I don't think there's anything wrong with this game. I think
I would put it in an S tier personally because of how much time I've spent playing it.
I would put it in S tier too, just based on its mechanical amazingness.
And it is mechanically it's the best roguelike I've ever seen.
I agree. I think it's the best roguelike probably just about ever. It's really, really good. It even is Rogue Legacy. It's in its name.
It is a roguelike, and it admits to that very freely. Oh, I did like the originals of these, but I haven't actually played the remakes. I watched you and Justin play a lot of the remakes, but I didn't play it myself.
You should totally play through this. It doesn't take very long, and it's really, really fun.
I actually own it on my PlayStation. I even bought it for 1 year when it was on sale and then never got around to playing it.
Yeah, you should absolutely play this game. It's super good. I highly recommend getting through it. It doesn't take that long, and it's just a blast the whole time. Yeah.
I love the original Ratchet and Clank. So, if it's just a pretty faithful remake of that, then I don't see there's how I could not like it.
Yeah, you'll definitely like it. There's no doubt. I think it belongs in A tier. I think it's a great. Actually, I'm going B on this.
Yeah, it is still kind of a remake,
It is a remake. I actually really was trying to not include remakes on this, but I thought it was kind of different enough where they literally remade it from the ground up,
Yeah.
That it could be
I'd say
included.
that's fair.
It was a pretty big, influential PS4 game too.
Yeah,
so
it's not just an HD re-release or something. It's a remake.
Yeah, it is. It is from the ground up a remake in all of the sense, So I think that deserves a spot on the list for sure.
Yeah.
Don't Starve.
This is a cool game. I never played too much of it or got super huge into it, but I did enjoy the time I spent with it.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a solid C game. It also, I will give it some credit for kind of being a part of survival games rise, that's become a very popular genre in the past decade. And I think this game, Minecraft, Terraria, those sorts of stuff.
They all had a big hand in that.
Had a very big hand in the survival crafting sort of thing that we see a lot nowadays.
Yeah.
Guacamelee.
Oh, this is a really good game.
This is a great game.
Yeah, and Guac 2 is really good too. It's more of the same, but it's also really good. It's just very well made games.
Yet I need to.
Yeah, you should. It's I think on sale right now.
Oh hell yeah! I could see that being on sale for PlayStation holiday stuff.
Yeah,
for sure.
And for Switch, they have it on Switch too.
Did that come out this year or last?
Guac
year?
2 came out I think last year or maybe the year before.
Yeah, I guess it was because it was when you were living at that one house for a little bit.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That would have been last summer.
I think Guacamelee is a pretty solid.
Definitely
game.
An A. Yeah.
I would like to put it in S, but I just don't think
I
it was
would too, and especially
groundbreaking
as far
enough.
as like indie games go, this is as good as it gets, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. And this is as far as indie games go, S tier, absolutely.
Yeah, it's S tier indie game, A tier game,
Agreed. BioShock Infinite.
BioShock Infinite. This game is pretty fantastic.
This is one of my favorite games ever made. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good.
I think this is a near perfect video.
It's one of those games though where the only problem with it is that there's not enough of it. You beat it and you're like, oh, it's fucking over.
True. I would probably put it around the same thing as God of War in that instance, I guess, where it's like, there's not you can replay through it again because you just want more of BioShock.
You unlock
Infinite.
a harder mode, and I remember I did play a little bit of the harder mode when I beat it, but
I think
would
for
say
what
it's
this game is,
A-tier.
I think it's a near perfect video game.
Yeah.
I think it's one of my favorite stories in games. One of the just cool all around.
Wish that they would have made more of them.
Agreed. And supposedly we're going to be getting a new BioShock soon from a new writer. Or something
a new
like
studio developed specifically for BioShocks.
Ken Levine obviously isn't doing that anymore, which is a bummer. But hopefully they do justice to the series. And I don't know. That's all I got to say about that. Tomb Raider. This is the franchise. All three of them that have come out in this new sort of Tomb Raider IP. I think these are great games. I don't know if they're A games. They might be B. Probably more like
I
a
would
C.
say B sounds fair enough, or maybe even C. They made a few of them, and they weren't so different from each other that it just kind of seemed like it was the new Tomb Raider game this year, you know?
I do think I have to agree with you that I think overall the series probably gets more of a C. If we were talking about straight up just the first Tomb Raider game in the remake series, I think that would probably be more of a B. But definitely the two after that were just kind of more of the same thing.
It's
which
just
is
kind of
not
like,
bad.
more Tomb Raider.
Yeah, just more Tomb Raider. But yeah, I think if you haven't played the remake of that series, it's really, really good. I highly recommend it.
Yeah.
Especially if you're looking for kind of an Uncharted. Like, you remember this one?
I played Crisis 2. I didn't play Crisis 3.
I played a little bit of Crisis 3. I thought this was more culturally relevant, if I'm being honest, for the whole Crisis series. Because I think Crisis 2 and 1 came out just a couple years before the decade.
I think you're right.
So
or maybe,
I figured...
maybe it was like 2010 or something. You know, it was like really early in the decade.
Yeah, this one came out literally at like the beginning in 2010, I want to say. So it was right on the edge there, but I figured it kind of was a predecessor to next-gen games as we know it nowadays, you know?
Yeah.
And so I think it's definitely culturally relevant, even though no one remembers about Crisis anymore.
Yeah, I do remember it was Crisis 2 was like a thing to behold, you know, popping that into your PlayStation 3. It was like, all right, let's make this PlayStation 3 go as hard as it can, like.
Absolutely. I definitely think it belongs in B, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I could see C, too.
You think so?
Yeah, because there was nothing so amazing about the story or so amazing about the gameplay that it really sticks out to me.
On a technological level, it was.
On
impressive.
A technological level, it was pretty impressive, but that was a good 10 years ago. You know, now it was kind of.
Nowadays, you can run Crisis probably on just about any normal.
It's dated now. D3, I forgot that was in this decade.
Indeed. I think this is the worst Diablo game ever made.
I definitely like Diablo 2 way better.
I think this is a fine C game. There's even
I've heard that that there are good things about it. I know Robert and Spencer still play a fair amount of it. They play online together, and they still really enjoy it. They play like the seasonal stuff or like the current stuff that they do.
Yeah, just for the fact that it's still around, then I think.
Yeah, the fact that it's still around is admirable. But the problem they had was when they did like the real money auction house, and they had a lot of fuck-ups,
Yeah, a lot of fuck ups with this one, and especially with Diablo 4 coming out, I think they're gonna be trying to move it in a different direction.
I really hope D4 does really well.
Me too, dude.
Ooh, Far Cry 3, that was a pretty influential one, I would say.
This was insanely influential, and it kind of kicked off Far Cry as we know it nowadays.
Yeah. I would say that it was the peak of its series, too. You know, it was like, this was the new big shit. You know, this is how it's going from here on out.
This is why I picked Far Cry 3, obviously. I would kind of roll Far Cry 4 and 5 into this because they're all very, very similar to each other.
Yeah,
but
it's
this is one that kicked it off.
Yearly game, you know?
Yeah, and I think it was a fantastic game. I really like Far Cry 3. I think it was my favorite of the newer generation of Far Cry, and the villain is to this day one of the most badass villains probably.
That trailer sticks out as like one of the most badass trailers of all time.
You think A maybe?
I'd say B.
You think B? Okay.
Especially if you're lumping in Far Cry 4 and Far Cry 5, it's got kind of that same game every year kind of.
It does kind of get a little bit samey in there for sure.
Yeah.
Halo 4.
Yeah, I liked this game when I played of it. I don't know that I played all the way through the campaign, but I did play some of the multiplayer, but I didn't get hugely into it, like I did Overwatch or anything.
Yeah, I remember playing quite a bit of this game when it came out, but it definitely wasn't nearly as big as something like Halo Reach or 3. I think I have Halo Reach somewhere else on this list. I'd say it's a fine C game, and it kind of was the downfall of Halo in my opinion.
Yeah, it's kind of where the cracks started to show.
Yeah, I kind of started getting sick of it right about then, so I think C is cool with that.
That sounds fair to me.
Assassin's Creed 3.
Oh, this is the one I've been playing just recently.
Yeah, do you like? I've always liked the setting of this game. It's
I like the setting.
Colonial America situation. I dig that.
And like the tree parkour, there was some kind of like an improvement to their parkour system that they had for the Assassin's Creed games for a few years at that point. But they did kind of revamp that a little bit. But like I'm realizing, replaying it through it, the prologue is so long. It's like hours and hours and hours before you actually get to play as the assassin, wearing the Assassin's Creed jacket and stuff. Like, it takes forever. So I would say maybe a C.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's definitely not as good as Black Flag is, but I don't think it's as bad as Unity is. It was kind of a disappointment when it came out, though, I have to admit.
Yeah, but it wasn't such a mess like Unity was, though. It wasn't quite that bad.
Absolutely.
Ooh. Hotline Miami. Is this Hotline Miami 1 and 2 rolled in together?
Yeah, I was going to roll them in together. I know Hotline Miami 2 is kind of disgraced as a sequel. Not a lot of people like it nearly as much as the first one.
Yeah.
But they're both really, really similar to each other than the story. And Hotline Miami is an insanely influential indie game in my eyes.
Yeah, I think it's really fun, too. I enjoy the gameplay of these games. It's nice and tight. Feels good.
Agreed. Yeah, I think they're really cool. I think they're brutal, and they have that awesome 80s synth shit going on.
Yeah, they got that vaporwave feel to them. And
very, very, very cool.
Nice and tight. Doom. This is one that I've been meaning to play, but haven't.
I think this is A tier. I think this is a fantastic video game. It is probably one of the mechanically best games I've played.
Yeah, it's a really good feeling shooter, right? It just feels tight.
Exactly, just super tight. They want you to get up in people's grills. You like get more health and stuff for like killing people. So they encourage you to be aggressive, which is awesome. You want to be just
a badass fighting aliens off like as hard as possible the whole time.
And you have a lot of like weapons at your disposal. You're constantly switching through weapons because you'll run out of ammo. And all around, I think this is a mastercraft in video game experience. Here.
I haven't played enough of it to disagree, so go ahead and put that in A tier.
All right, let's do it. I'm really excited for Doom Eternal to come out as well. It should be.
When is that coming out? Is that soon?
It was supposed to be this year, but they ended up pushing it back because of they need more time developing or whatever.
Yeah, that's better than releasing a bad game.
I agree. I'd much rather them just take a little more time. Same thing with Dishonored, lumping 1 and 2 in. They're both very, very similar. I love these video games. I could definitely see how not everyone would be into them, but I really like them.
I really like them, and I really like the style of them too.
Agreed. Yeah, I agree. I think they look cool and feel cool.
They look, obviously really good, and the stealth mixed with the combat, like you could do stealth combat, you don't have to do stealth combat. I always really enjoyed that aspect of it.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think this is a solid B. I would probably put it in A out of just me liking it a lot, but
I would like to put it in an A too, though. Go ahead and put it in an A.
All right, yeah, this is our
list. As long as we both want it there, let's go and put it there.
I really like Dishonored. I think it is great.
It's really good.
Especially, I think mechanically they're just really solid.
Yeah. Combat is real fun. Resident Evil 6. I haven't played this one.
I actually haven't played this one either. Maybe we should just get rid of this one.
Yeah, well, there's other Resident Evils. We'll talk about those other ones.
Plenty of other Resident Evils. Like this one.
I did like what I played of this one. I need to get it so I can play all the way through it, but the first couple hours when I played it at your place was pretty sweet.
It's a near perfect video game. I definitely think it's A tier.
It reminded me of Resident Evil 4 a lot, and that's a very, very good thing. Resident Evil 4 is fantastic.
Agreed. And it has some of like the best suspense in it ever. You fight this I think his name is Mr. X at some point. He's this big guy, you can't kill him, and some of the best suspense in a video game ever made.
Yeah.
Resident Evil 7.
Yeah. This is the one that we watched Ryan speedrun.
Yeah, we've actually watched Ryan speedrun this in what? It was like an hour 50.
It was an hour and a half or something like that, hour and 15 minutes. It was fast. He was good at it.
Super quick. I love this video game. This brought back Resident Evil for me. I think this is easy A tier. I think it was amazing. It was awesome. It was
I always enjoyed what I saw of it and what I played of it. I thought it was felt and looked very, very good.
I'm a sucker for Resident Evil 2. I have to.
Yeah.
Borderlands 2.
That's a good one. I forgot that one was in this decade.
Sure was.
Yeah.
B.
I'd say it's a solid B. Yeah.
Yeah. I honestly have never really had the big of an attachment to the Borderlands series.
I like them. They're good loot shooters. If that's your kind of thing, if you really like that kind of thing, then they're real solid for that.
What about Borderlands 3?
I'd say it belongs right next to Borderlands 2. There are some problems with it. Like, for example, the story is not as funny. Maybe I just got older and I don't think that's as funny. But there was like the cutscenes and stuff were really, really bad.
I've heard the humor is cringy in that game.
It's cringy,
sure.
Yep. And but the gameplay still is all perfectly fine. From what I played a few hours of it, and it was all.
Do you think it deserves
just like
C
Borderlands
for that?
2. What's up?
Do you think it deserves a C for that? Being mechanically good, but maybe not overall a great game.
I'd like to see it right next to Borderlands 2, but I could see it docked for having the weak ass story.
It had a lot of controversy around it as well.
Yep.
I haven't played it yet, so I can't say for sure, but
yeah,
it's up to you. What do you think?
I could see it in a C. As long as Borderlands 2 isn't a B, then that's fine with me.
I think that's solid. Yeah, we'll keep the fanboys away with that. Sekiro. Oh, I
was
probably
our
should
game
have
of
done
the year this year.
Dark Souls first, but
yeah.
Here, 1 second. We'll just do it at the same time. Dark Souls and I personally like Sekiro better, but I think Dark Souls was more influential.
I never played Dark Souls 3. I really only started getting into Dark Souls like a year or two ago. I tried Dark Souls 1 remade, and then I played a little bit of Bloodborne, a little bit of Sekiro here and there.
Yeah, definitely. Dark Souls 3 is kind of my... It could stand in for Dark Souls 2 and Bloodborne, because
it's the Dark Souls series / Bloodborne versus Sekiro, where they're very, very similar. You know,
I was gonna say, just out of sheer how probably important these games are, they
are pretty important.
Probably deserves to be an A.
Yeah, they probably both deserve to be A's.
I think you might be right.
But I'm not really the right person to make that decision. They're not exactly my type of game, you know?
I like Sekiro a lot, so let's put it in A. Why not?
Yeah. It was game of the year, too. I mean, it deserves to be an A.
I agree. I think it is a near perfect video game. All right, moving on. Fez.
I haven't seen this or played this one, but I've seen it.
You really?
Yeah.
Oh,
From what I've seen, it looks pretty cool.
It's okay. I was gonna say it had a lot of controversy around it because of
one of the ones made all by one dude.
Yeah, the guy's name was Phil Fish.
Yeah.
And a lot of people really rack him hard for kind of being a big wiener.
Is he a wiener?
But I mean, the game is fine. I don't.
I haven't played it, so I couldn't tell you where to put it.
It's okay. I'm gonna go with D. Honestly, it really didn't blow my mind. It was supposed to be a lot like cooler, bigger. It looks very pretty.
Yeah, I liked the way it looked.
You'll like this one.
Oh, Temple Run. Nice, dude.
Yeah, I thought this was pretty influential. I figured this deserved to be up top, and I thought you and me could have a nice little argument about this.
Yeah, Temple Run is the best. It's like totally the best runner mini game you can get on your phone by far.
I think it's a probably C tier, to be honest.
It's an awesome game, dude. This is an A tier game. This is like the cream of the crop. This should be right up there next to Sekiro.
Are you fucking kidding me? God, no. I will die before I do that.
This game is awesome, man. Put it over there next to Fortnite. If we can't agree with it, put it next to Fortnite.
If anything, it belongs right next to Fortnite. I don't even know.
It's totally better than Fortnite. It's kind of a disgrace to put it next to Fortnite.
What the fuck are you talking about? Fortnite is easily better than Temple Run, at least.
Temple Run is so much more fun.
God, you're disgusting. You remember this one?
Oh, this was like a weird one-off Resident Evil game?
It was like a weird one-off, and it like really crashed hard. Nobody liked it. It was terrible. I was just more wondering if you remembered it.
I don't really remember it, no.
It was really bad. We probably don't even need to put it on the list, to be honest.
I won't really have anything to say about it if I don't even remember it.
We had Mass Effect 2.
3.
Yeah,
there's one that bombed.
Huge bomb. Oh yeah, they actually changed the ending to this game because people complained about it so much, which is a hilarious thing to do. Like, what asshole caves after everyone just starts complaining?
Like, imagine, people didn't, because we all obviously didn't like the ending of Game of Thrones because it was terrible, but at least they didn't go back on their word and change it.
Oh my god, at least stick to your guns. Like, damn, dude, that's
it's a weenie move.
I guess a weenie move.
Also, do you see it says better with Connect sensor?
I know, right? That's dated right there.
Well, let's put this one in an E.
Okay. I think the game like played fine, but yeah, it was a pretty colossal disaster.
Yeah, it was just a nightmare. It did not do well.
FF15, I think, is a perfectly fine video game.
It's not terrible, but it's not what I want out of Square to do with their like Kingdom Hearts kind of that kind of combat should feel more lively than this.
I honestly really didn't have any problem with Final Fantasy 15. I enjoyed it a lot right up until the end, and apparently the DLC has fixed a lot of the story stuff. I liked how this game played. I had a bunch of fun playing it. I could definitely see how you wouldn't like it.
I guess I wouldn't say that I hate it. It's just that it wasn't what I wanted, you know?
Fair enough. That's fair. I do think it probably deserves a C, to be honest.
Yeah, I'd say it's a C. That's accurate.
I think that's fine. Rayman Origins. pretty influential in the last decade, right?
This actually was a pretty great game.
It was a pretty great game, and it really kind of paved the way for I don't know, Ubisoft's indie studio. I forget what they call it.
Yeah.
Rayman kind of had a comeback.
Yeah, I was happy to see Rayman make a comeback. Speaking of which, how cool would it be if we got him in Smash?
Oh my god, that would be a great character added to Smash. That would be perfect. I could absolutely see that happening. What do you think, though, B?
I'd say B, yeah. B seems accurate.
If Banjo and Kazooie can make it into Smash, I think Rayman is
Easy.
not a far
and Crash
stretch
Bandicoot,
to think.
You know, we just got to get them all in there.
Totally agree. With this one, I'm kind of adding in Mankind Divided and the other one, Human Revolution, I think it was called.
Yeah, they were pretty similar, right?
Yeah, they're both really similar. I like these games personally. They're pretty solid shooters.
Didn't play much of them. I played one of them, and it seemed like it was trying to force the stealth onto me, like real hard, at least right in the beginning. I was like, I kind of want to run in there and shoot people in the face.
No, you could run in there and shoot people in the face. In the first one, especially, when you're talking to that guy, you can ask for what weapon you want, because he asks if you want to go in silent or go in deadly, pretty much. And you can be like, just give me an assault rifle or whatever. Word up. All right, we're on the last stretch here. We're on the home stretch. We're getting there. It's coming to a head. I lost my fucking place, though. God damn it.
Yeah.
All right, Arkham City.
Smarkham Smitty.
This is a placeholder for the Arkham City and Arkham Knight. I think they're great games. I don't have any problem with them. I think they're easy CB games.
I didn't really play much of any of them. I played, very, very little bits.
Really?
Yeah, I never owned one,
I would definitely go back and try and play these if you ever get the chance. They are solid games.
Okay.
They're really fun.
Yeah, I guess I always didn't really care for the combat from what I played.
Yeah, it definitely feels...
it was around the same time I was getting big into like the Assassin's Creeds, or Assassin's Creed, like the older ones there's a way their combat feels, where you're just killing dudes left and right and you're like making a pile of bodies and it kind of looks awesome while you're doing it.
It feels fairly similar to that.
It seemed like it was like that but slower, and just the animations
slower.
didn't quite look as good to me, I don't think.
That's fair. I wouldn't mind putting this in C if I'm being honest. I do think they're really good games.
I could see it a C or a B. It could go either way.
I've spent quite a bit of time into Batman games.
Yeah.
I think it is deserving of a B if I'm being honest.
Fair enough.
All right, moving on. Uncharted 3 and 4. We'll just knock those both out at the same time here.
Yeah.
I think Uncharted is amazing. Some of my favorite games.
All very story based. I could see it being in a B.
Yeah, I think they're absolutely solid B games. I wouldn't say they necessarily do anything super different in terms of storytelling or gameplay, but I just think they do what they do really, really well.
And Uncharted 4 seemed like it was kind of the new version of Uncharted 3. It was just the newer version of that same kind of thing.
Yeah, definitely. Honestly, these both could probably
They could probably go on the same picture.
Probably sort of the same thing. I guess that might have been slightly unnecessary. Rage, I'm going to just dunk Rage 1 and 2 into the same thing here.
Yeah. It's the Rage series.
I think Rage 1 was not a good game, and I think Rage 2 is a fine game.
I played a little bit of Rage 1, but it came out around the same time as Borderlands 2.
That's right.
And that really kind of
really killed it. Yeah. They had very similar aesthetics.
Yeah.
They kind of played differently, but I don't know. I'm not a big fan of Rage. I think these are D games. They're not.
I could see them being a D.
They're not atrocious or anything.
There's nothing so horrible about them that they would get an E.
No, but just meh. They're fine.
Yeah.
Meh. Okay, Duke Nukem.
This one was a stinker.
This was a stinker. This was a nightmare. I've never actually played this game.
I haven't either.
But I have seen it be played before, and it was cringy.
I heard very bad things, and it always looked very, very stupid to me. It didn't seem like the kind of thing I would ever be interested in.
Agreed. It always looked terrible. I've never even really liked Duke Nukem from the get-go, so fuck Duke Nukem.
Yeah.
E tier. F tier.
Easy.
Why don't I have an F tier?
Yeah, F would make more sense than E.
That's a good point. We should have an F tier. What was I thinking? Pokemon Black and White is the worst Pokemon game of the last 10 years.
It's, gotta be like my least favorite.
My least favorite.
And then they went and made Black and White 2. So it was kind of like, oh.
Yeah, I was just using this as a stand-in for both of them.
Yeah.
I think
it's a C tier that's about as low as Pokemon can go, as long as it's a core series Pokemon game.
And I definitely think that Sword and Shield was better, and I think that we put that up here. Yeah, right here.
Yeah, it's definitely better.
All right, yeah, C tier I think seems appropriate for that. This encompasses Dead Space, or no, just Dead Space 2. I decided to leave Dead Space 3 off because it was an abomination.
Okay, I didn't even realize they made a third one.
Yeah, that's okay. You don't need to. It was really bad.
Yeah.
It was really bad.
Dead Space was pretty awesome though, from what I played. It was a long time ago. I was like a 16-year-old kid or whatever, but
yeah, fuck yeah, dude. Dead Space is awesome. I'm all about it.
It was fun from what I played.
Yeah, I'm all about the Dead Space series, especially Dead Space 1 and 2 are great. This one was
except
a little more
not
action.
The third one.
Yeah, except for the third one. But Dead Space 2 is great. Great game. No qualms there. Little Big Planet 2.
Pretty awesome. I
awesome.
didn't think I was going to be seeing that one today. It's a good game though.
Yeah, it was a great game. It came out forever ago, or seemingly forever ago.
Co-opetition,
Yeah, lots of things to collect. They're not like the most solid platformers, but I think it's pretty okay game.
Yeah, they're not anything super special or amazing.
I mean, I remember it being very culturally relevant at the time.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. What do you think? Should we B or C?
I'd probably just put it in C just because I haven't played as much of this one as I have of other games. And
I did really enjoy what I played of the first one, and I think I played a little of the second one, but it was more of the first one.
I really can't understate how crazy people were about Little Big Planet 2 when it came out. Like,
yeah,
it doesn't seem like it nowadays, but those were really popular games at the time.
Yeah.
Made by Media Molecule, actually. Who's working on Dreams at the moment. Dreams. Super Meat Boy.
Oh, this game's sweet.
Fucking love this game.
Yeah, it's a really good platformer. Really fast-paced.
Amazing
really
platformer.
Fun.
I think this is just barely not getting into S. I think this is a fucking fantastic game.
Yeah, I would say it belongs in A tier.
I don't think there's.
It's like.
There's little to nothing wrong with that game. It's an indie darling.
Indie perfection. It's the best you can expect out of any indie developer.
Completely and utterly agree with you. Team Meat.
Halo Reach.
Dude, yeah, Halo Reach.
That
just made a
might
comeback
be my
recently.
favorite Halo.
That's probably my favorite Halo game. Yeah, I think so. Maybe, honestly, between this and Halo 3, I really like Halo 3 as well.
I like Halo 1 too, though. It's always fun to go back to the classic.
True. Halo 1 is a classic. I just think Halo 3 just did what Halo 1 did, just better, It's better.
The game's changed bit by bit for each release, but
they were different. But yeah, I mean, this is an A tier in my eyes.
I'd say A tier.
I played hours and hours.
Yeah.
And
like
hours
in high school, that game was the shit.
So much. Pac-Man Championship Edition DX Plus.
I actually never played this one.
Oh, really?
I remember, you always told me it was really awesome, and then I like Pac-Man, so I assume I would like it.
I love this game. It's totally a solid B. I mean, it doesn't do anything new or different, but what it does is awesome. And when you get like the power up, you can like you chomp down on a shit ton of go. It's just really good and satisfying. Super fun.
Like
game.
the best that Pac-Man can be.
It is the best Pac-Man can be and probably ever will be in my eyes. Wow, Cataclysm. This also encompasses all the expansions after Cataclysm. So, Miss Pandaria and...
The last 10 years of World of Warcraft.
Yeah, the last 10 years of WoW is encompassed in this.
This is interesting because for like the first half of the decade, I played a ton of WoW. For the second half of the decade, not so much,
No, I agree with you. I think this is kind of interesting because I think Cataclysm was sort of a turning point for WoW's downfall, if you will.
Yeah. It's kind of where it got started. I still really did like Cataclysm, not quite as much as Wrath of the Lich King, but I loved Cataclysm.
I definitely played quite a bit of Cataclysm with you, and definitely didn't play it as much as Wrath, but I don't know. I feel very.
I could see it in the B. I would have a hard time just for how much I spent playing
True.
WoW. I couldn't see it getting put in the C category.
I do think it probably still is probably a B just based on on the time and love we've put into the Warcraft series in general.
Oh yeah.
Your favorite Assassin's Creed game?
This is my favorite one. This one's good.
I think Black Flag is better personally, but this is a great Assassin's Creed game.
Yeah. This one was really where it all kind of came together.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree.
Assassin's Creed 1, as much as I liked it at the time, it was rough.
It was super rough. And Assassin's Creed 2 fixed a lot of
sort of built on that. It got better from there. And then once you hit Brotherhood, it was sort of like the peak, I think.
Yeah, I think they had perfected the Assassin's Creed formula with Brotherhood. I completely and utterly agree. Plus, Ezio is probably the best Assassin's Creed character.
He's badass.
I would say this is probably A tier Assassin's Creed right here.
I would put it, it's as good as Assassin's Creed can be.
I agree. I think this is up there. I still do think Black Flag is better, but I think this was kind of the predecessor to what Black Flag is. And you really wouldn't have Black Flag without Brotherhood. So there you go.
Connectimals, huh?
Can you believe this came out in the last decade?
I can't even believe that this came out.
Oh my god. I just want to reflect on the Connect for a minute. I should have just made Connect its own category because I think it's hilarious. Imagine the Connect coming out nowadays. People would be like, what the hell is this crap?
What is this? Yeah.
Oh
it was just like the Wii had come out a few years before, and the Wii sold very, very well. And Microsoft was like, let's get in on that.
Let's get in on that. We need to have motion control everything. So
here is Microsoft's Nintendogs right here.
Yeah, Microsoft's Nintendogs is a good way to put this. Now with bears.
It's an easy E, right?
Yeah, like totally, 100%. Connect was a failure. I have never played Connectimals, but it looks
assuming
terrible.
That game sucks because it was on the Kinect.
I gotta imagine it's not very good. Oh my god, this one. So this is This is the remake, or sort of pseudo remake they made of GoldenEye for the Nintendo Wii.
It was not a very faithful remake.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't a very faithful remake, but it was a pretty decent video game.
Yeah.
Not a great game by any means.
I remember I bought it because I thought it was just a remake. And I was like, oh, GoldenEye remake. Yeah. Awesome. And then I found out that it was pretty different. And that bummed me out. And I didn't play as much of it as I maybe would have. But
yeah, absolutely. But, I mean, it wasn't a horrible game. I'd say C tier, probably. It wasn't, like, horrible or anything. It wasn't GoldenEye, really, but it was
I didn't really get into it much. I would see it in a D tier if, you know.
I can agree with you on a D tier.
If you think that it works down there. Just
I think it was a kind of a disappointment.
It was totally, like, if you're going to besmirch the GoldenEye, name, if it's like a GoldenEye 64 kind of thing, you want it to be real good.
Too true. I agree. Fair enough. I didn't play a shitload of that game, but I remember it not really bothering me that much, Like, I was like, this is fine.
It wasn't a horrible game. Oh, I forgot all about the Rock Band, those music games.
Oh, yeah. These once again, cannot understate how insanely huge this franchise was when we were, like, teenagers and middle school-ish. Holy crap. People used to have tournaments where they'd be in rock bands and Guitar Heroes.
Yeah.
And oh my god, it was crazy.
Crazy. You would go like any gathering of school children or whatever, like a party for kids, there would be Rock Band there. And if it wasn't, then your party sucked. I don't know what to say.
Everyone had Rock Band. That being said, Rock Band 3 was definitely when the craze started dying off, I think.
They
Rock
added
Band
in the keyboard,
peak, probably.
Do you remember that had the keyboard in Rock Band 3?
That's right. I remember when you guys picked that up. Yeah.
And that was pretty cool. And as somebody who plays piano, it was like, oh, all right, I can use my piano skills in Rock Band now, which was pretty good when that was the thing that was happening.
Now I can play all this Ben Folds Fold song.
Ben Folds 5.
God damn it.
Yeah, that was back in the day, man.
Totally. Yeah, I mean, Rock Band was huge. I don't know if I was a big fan of Rock Band 3, but I remember this being crazy.
As a series, just for how influential it was, I think it should go in B.
I
Because
honestly agree with you.
It was huge.
It was
you know.
insane. It was like as popular as you can think of like Minecraft being nowadays. Like it was insanely popular. They were
Yeah.
selling merch at Target. Like you could buy a base shirt. Like
Yep.
it was crazy. Everyone
You would
wanted
buy a
to play
shirt that
Rock
would
Band.
say what instrument you played in Rock Band.
Yeah,
because that was
right?
what everybody cared about.
It was crazy. I don't. You really. It's hard to explain how culturally insane that was at the time.
Yeah.
Fucking Fable 3, dude.
Is this 2 and 3 rolled in together?
Not technically, because I think Fable 2 came out in like 2009, so it came out just before the decade,
Yeah.
so I decided to leave it out. But Fable 3, in my eyes, is the worst Fable game.
It's my least favorite one.
But it's not necessarily a horrible game,
Yeah, it's still not horrible. Like,
It had that really cool pause menu, too. It would take you
Yeah,
into
they
like
had-
your dresser sort of thing.
yeah, and they had the guy who plays Woodhouse from Archer. He was
my
your
God,
butler.
that's right. I
there.
forgot about that.
Yeah.
That
was
awesome.
actually pretty awesome.
That was pretty cool.
There were cool things about this game, but
Yeah.
it was Peter Molyneux promising us everything and delivering us some things. You know?
Yeah, I definitely remember like playing it once, enjoying it, and then never really picking it up again after that. It was just sort of done after that.
Yeah.
I didn't play it nearly as much as I played Fable 2 and
I
1.
picked it up again a few years back, or maybe a year ago now, and it's still pretty fun. I played my way through it, but
Yeah.
it's no Fable 2 or Fable 1,
Yeah, I'd say as far as disappointment goes, this is probably a C category for me.
Yeah,
But
I would say C. I want to put it into a B, but I just can't.
Yeah,
You know?
it just wasn't. Yeah, I agree with you. It was just fine. It didn't really.
For the standard that we held Fable 1 and 2,
Fallout New Vegas.
Oh,
one of my favorite video games of all time.
This is a really good one, but it had some performance issues.
Definitely had some issues, and I could definitely see how some people wouldn't like this one as much as they'd like Fallout 3 or Fallout 4.
Yeah. I could say if there was a super stable version of this game, that never crashed, like that just ran really well, it could be an A or an S tier game. But the problem is that I always had problems where I can't complete this quest because the game crashes every fucking time I do it.
It definitely is a lot better nowadays. Like if you play it in modern day, it works fine. But definitely at the time, it was really frustrating. I remember I lost lots of hours.
Hardware. Also, like on a modern gaming PC or on my Xbox One or whatever, I'm sure it would run it a lot better than it did back in the day.
Yeah, I've played somewhat recently, and it worked fine on my PC. But especially with like the Outer Worlds now being out, I definitely see less of a reason to go back and play something like this. But still, as far as Fallout goes, this is my favorite Fallout game, but I definitely could see it being in a B.
Yeah, I think it's a solid B.
Yeah, I think you're right. Especially with just when it came out, it had a lot of problems, but I did pick it up day one. Spencer actually took me to go get it.
But also, it was a couple years after that I tried playing it again, and it had some issues.
That's fair. I did that one first.
Outer Worlds belongs up here.
I love the Outer Worlds. It's amazing.
I love it. I'd say I'd say it could go in an A.
Have you beaten this one yet?
I haven't. I've been waiting for it to, I only played it on my Xbox Game Pass, so I'm either waiting for it to get real cheap on my PlayStation or drop on my Switch.
Oh, that's right. It's coming to Switch next year. I think we've talked about this actually.
That's what they said it should be coming out next year. I think it was hinted. So
yeah, it's supposed
I'm hoping
to be,
it will.
At least. Yeah, man, I really like the Outer Worlds. If you haven't played the Outer Worlds yet, do it. I was gonna say after the Outer Worlds coming out, I think Bethesda's going to have a really hard time with Fallout from now on.
Either they might come back and hit twice as hard, and I don't think they're going Fallout next. They're going Skyrim or Elder Scrolls.
No, I know they are, and that's kind of where I'm getting at, is where it's like, I don't know if there's much reason to play Fallout now that you can play the Outer Worlds. I just think it's a better game all around, if I'm being honest.
It seems like it's a little bit smaller, though. It's smaller scale than Fallout 4,
it's
right?
definitely way smaller. The scale is not nearly on the same level. I got to give it fault there for that. But
yeah, it seems like
it's made by a much smaller team, and I don't know. It's mechanically, it's amazing.
Yeah, part of the reason though that I like Fallout 3 and Fallout 4 and stuff is because you can go back. It's this huge world. You go find things you never saw before.
I'll give you that. It's definitely sort of missing that, and I think with a sequel, you will see them fix stuff like that.
Yeah, it'll get bigger.
Get a lot bigger, but still, I think this is an amazing video game. Probably not S tier, but I think it's an amazing video game.
I could easily see it in A tier though. It's a really good game.
Agreed. I think that is a perfectly fine place for it. I think it totally deserves that. Sonic 4.
Oh no. Yeah, ruining the Sonic numbered franchise. Just calling it Sonic 4 doesn't make it anything like Sonic 3, Sega. That's not what we wanted.
Yeah, it wasn't good. This was a bad game when it came out.
Yeah.
I bet a lot of people don't even remember that this was a thing.
Yeah.
And it is very much a thing. I remember it, and it was bad.
It was just so not the Sonic that we want. You know,
Totally.
like we got Sonic that we want eventually, which was Sonic Mania, but this was nowhere close to that.
God, no, this was so bad.
I would say this is an E or a D game. I could throw it an E easy.
I think it's E, totally. And you remember how you have like it's momentum based, so you have, when you get going in this game, you're really slow for the first couple seconds.
Yeah.
And then you pick up speed and start going. It's really annoying.
Just a stupid game. I did not like it.
It's so bad all around. And to follow that up, I of course have Sonic Mania.
Of course, the good one.
This is an amazing
The
video
crown
game.
jewel. This is at least an A for me. This game rules.
I agree. I think the only thing keeping this from being an S tier is the music.
Yep. If the music was just as good as the music for Sonic 3, which it's still pretty good. It's not like the music's bad, but it's not like this banging soundtrack like Sonic 3 was.
Yeah, it's not
awesome.
like fucking game changer, but it's that game is so good. The opening cinematic to this game is amazing. I love it so much. I watch it sometimes just because I love it so much. It's so good.
Just because it puts you in mind of like Sonic cartoons and being a kid.
Totally. I love the shit out of it. Dead Rising 2. I want to leave Dead Rising 3 out, and I want to leave Dead Rising 4 out because I think they're completely different, and I think this is the peak of the franchise, and I really like this game.
I liked this one. It seemed like it was just better than Dead Rising 1.
Agreed. Yeah, I think it just did what Dead Rising 1 did, but it materialized a lot of it and kind of crystallized the formula, and I think it's a fantastic game. I think B is a perfectly appropriate place for that.
Oh yeah. Kingdom Hearts 3.
Huge disappointment. Not a horrible mechanically playing game. But oh my god, what a disappointment. Just
after like 14 years or whatever it was so long.
Totally.
And then it wasn't what we needed, you know. It was I would say I liked it more than Final Fantasy 15. But less obviously than Kingdom Hearts 2 or than a lot of the other Kingdom Hearts.
I definitely like Final Fantasy 15 over this game.
You liked it better?
Yeah.
I felt like the combat just felt more. It was like Kingdom. This at least sort of felt like Kingdom Hearts. They were really trying to make it feel like a Kingdom Hearts game.
That's true. I mean, once again, there's nothing necessarily wrong with how this game plays. It feels pretty decent, and it's just I don't know. Just after that long, it's just a giant disappointment in how
it needed to be a massive thing. It needed to be huge.
It needed to be twice as big as it is, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I just don't think they pulled it through. I think this is D, if not E, in my opinion.
I think it's a C. You know,
you'd go C.
I would say C. Yeah. It's not that it's such a bad game. It's just after all of that, we needed like a real solid Kingdom Hearts title.
Yeah, that's fair. Maybe I'm being a little harsh putting it in a D because there's nothing.
And I know that they're making steps to fix it. They're doing kind of the No Man's Sky thing where they're like, well, wait, we want to like do this better.
I still think Final Fantasy 15 deserves to be higher.
I have no problem with them being on the same tier though. You know.
That's fair, I guess. I think Final Fantasy 15 is a better game, but that's just me, I guess. We can agree to disagree on that one. That's totally fine with me. I think these are the last two games we have to go over, actually.
Oh, yeah, we got to Skate already.
Yep. So, Persona 5 and...
P5 and P4.
And P4.
I've been waiting for these games to either come to Switch, or they have the golden version of P5 now, right? Or is that still in the works?
No, that's coming out at the beginning of next year. That's Persona 5 Royal is coming out.
Yeah. I will probably play it if that one comes out and there's a good sale on it on the PS4. I'll probably play it, but I would really much rather just play it on the Switch, you know?
At this point, I don't know if we're going to end up seeing it on the Switch. I think.
Well, it's just ridiculous. We got Joker in Super Smash Brothers, but we're not going to get their game off the Switch.
Maybe we'll end up seeing it come later after
like a port of the golden version or something.
Yeah, that's true. I could see them doing something like that, where maybe like a year after it comes out on the other consoles, then let's push it over to Switch.
In some weird exclusive deal with Sony or something.
I would not hold out that long though, dude. Like if I know you like JRPGs, you would.
I'm a big RPG guy.
You would totally be into P5. I would say I really like P4. I think it's an A game. I would say P5 is an S game.
Easy. An S, really?
Easy.
I know you played it like pretty hard for the year it came out. It was like your main game.
I think it is the best. It has pushed JRPGs further in the last 10 years than maybe even the last 20 years than any other game has.
Yeah.
I think since something like Final Fantasy X, maybe there hasn't been something as
Final
big.
Fantasy X was pretty peak JRPG too.
I believe in my bones that Persona 5
if you feel it belongs there, you could put it there, but I haven't played it, so I can't tell you that it doesn't belong there.
I think there's some mechanical issues with P4 that would really draw people away from playing it nowadays, but
maybe a little dated.
It's insanely influential, and if you like JRPGs at all in any way, shape, or form, you should play the Persona series. It's really good. I like it a lot. That's our list,
all right.
Peter.
That's a pretty hefty looking list.
That's a huge list. There is, actually we can see how many pieces of stuff are in this folder. There's 109 games on this list. We have just
It took us over 2 hours to make it.
It did. It's going to take me a little bit to edit to this video, but I think that was fairly entertaining, and I am pretty impressed with the amount of work we've gotten done here. This is pretty cool.
Yeah.
We got a completed list here. This is the definitive GameSpill list of the decade.
I don't know if we'll ever get a game of the decade, if we'll ever be able to agree on just one of those, options at the top for it to be the game of the decade.
I agree. I don't think we could really do that. If anything, Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, I would say, because it just took everything Skyrim did and just, bam, it was...
I really think Breath of the Wild is probably one of the best games ever created.
I think so.
So yeah, if we were to rate one for the decade, do you agree that Breath of the Wild probably would take the number one spot?
I think so. I think that would probably take the award.
That being
as much as I'd love Overwatch to get up there, or even Smash Bros.
Yeah. Well, we probably put those in S tier. That's pretty damn good.
Yeah. They're all great games. They're great dogs, Brett.
They're great dogs, Brett. So, yeah, all of these games have been influential, obviously. They all have a place in gaming history, and we have just laid it out for you today. We've been going on a long time, so let's get this over with. Thanks for joining us, everybody. This was episode 2 of GameSpill. I am Brandon.
And I'm Peter.
Thanks for joining us, everybody. We just rated the top 10, or the top games of the last 10 years. If you have any more to add, of course, let us know in the comments down below. If you're angry at us on any decisions that we made, let us know in the comments down below. Like, subscribe to us, and do all that stuff. I'm not going to bother you too much. Have a fucking fantastic Christmas and a kick-ass week, everybody.
Nice.
Goodbye. Yeah, goodbye. See you
later.
later.